The Sam Rowe Empire science fiction story was created entirely by myself, Kim Lane Roselle. The story was not generated by an artificial intelligence.
Sam was 9 years old. It was the first time he realized something was different about him. He'd be playing in the yard one moment, and the next he'd see places he wasn't standing in. It was faint, ghost-like visions layered over the real world. He told no one, of course. His mother would think he'd lost his ever-loving mind. He'd seen what happened to Mr. Stewart down the road when he started talking about pink elephants after drinking too much. One hot afternoon, the ice cream truck rolled through the neighborhood. Sam watched the other kids buy cones while he patted his empty pockets. He wished, hard, that he had enough money. He wished so intensely that when he opened his eyes, a chocolate ice cream cone sat in his hand. He screamed and dropped it. He didn't tell a soul. Who would believe him? They'd say he stole it, or worse, they'd lock him away. A few days later, when no one was watching, he tried again. He wished for a butter pecan cone. It appeared, cold and solid in his hand. He took a cautious bite. It was real. It was delicious. And suddenly, Sam realized he could have ice cream whenever he wanted. Sitting under the shade tree, licking his cone, another vision appeared semi-transparent, floating over the world like a daydream he couldn't blink away. This time it was a garbage dump near Chicago, a mountain of trash stretching farther than he could see. He remembered his science lesson: matter cannot be created or destroyed, only changed. And he wondered, what if he could change that trash into something useful? He focused on the vision. A small patch of garbage vanished, and in its place lay a 25-pound brick of pure copper. Heavy for a 9-year-old, but he managed to lug it down to Mr. Davies' scrapyard. "Mr. Davies," Sam said, "I've got some copper to sell. You in the market?" Davies eyed the bar. "As long as you didn't steal it, boy, I'll buy it. But where'd you get something this shiny?" Sam remembered one of the older boys melting. "Lead for bullets. I learned how to melt metal from a friend's brother," he lied. "Been practicing green sand casting and mold casting too." Davies nodded. "Well, if it's cast, it ain't traceable. I'll give you scrap price. 5 cents a pound, 25 pounds, that's $1.25. That's a full hour's wage for a union man." Sam froze. He'd just earned an hour's pay by daydreaming. He asked, "If I bring you another bar, will you buy it?" "Absolutely," Davies said. "Long as it's cast and clean." So every morning on his way to school, Sam sold Davies a 25-pound bar. And every afternoon, he sold another. Eventually Davies demanded to know where it all came from. Sam said, "It's legal, honest, and the law would approve if I told you. But it's mine, and it ain't stolen." Davies refused to buy more unless he knew the source. So, Sam made him swear, on his mama's grave and with a pinky swear, that he'd never tell a soul. Then Sam held out his hands, concentrated, and a 100-pound bar of copper appeared at Davies' feet. "Saints preserve us," Davies whispered. "Boy, we can't tell nobody about this." "I know," Sam said. "They'd lock me up and throw away the key for sure." Davies asked how he did it, and Sam told him the truth: the visions, the ice cream, the garbage disappearing, the new material appearing in his hands. He explained what he'd read about witchcraft, that it required demons and bargains, and insisted he'd done none of that. This just happened to him. Davies believed him. And he understood the danger. "Sam," he said, "I need 60 tons of pig iron. Think you can manage that?" Sam nodded. "I'll scrape it from the bottom of a big city dump. They won't miss it." He concentrated. A massive trash heap near New York flickered into view. A moment later, 100 tons of pure pig iron, all cast into 1-ton blocks, stood ready. "Sam, we've got to be smart about this," Mr. Davies said, lowering his voice. "You'll make more than enough for lunches, ice cream, even the picture shows, but only if we keep things quiet." He tapped the ledger with a calloused finger. "Pig iron? 15, maybe 20 tons a month at most. Copper, 1 ton. Prime steel, let's say a ton as well. No more than that. We stay small, we stay invisible." As of February 1934, pig iron sold for about $15 a ton, 20 for the high-grade stuff. Prices rose and fell with the mill's needs, and Davies watched the market like a hawk. The trick was to never produce more than what could plausibly come from a scrap dealer's backlot. Sam nodded. It was more money than he had ever imagined earning. With his father gone, he could finally help his mother keep the house afloat. It would not a fancy life, but a steady one, with dinner plates full and the lights paid on time. It would be a dream come true. Davies insisted on a strict 50-50th split for everything Sam created. They never exchanged more than a few casual words in public, a hello, a how you doing, before completing their quiet transactions. To anyone watching, it looked like a schoolboy stopping by to greet an old family friend. Their monthly arrangement was simple. $75 in copper, $100 in pig iron, $300 in prime metals, depending on what the mills needed. Each man in 1934 cleared $475 a month if they were a top union worker. A steel worker earned about $1.50 an hour, roughly $60 a week. Sam and Davies were making nearly 8 times that, and secrecy was the only thing keeping it safe. Sam handled his end carefully. He deposited only a few dollars at a time, never enough to raise eyebrows. Or so he thought. Bank teller. Sam, you've been bringing in more than usual. Where's all this coming from? Sam, calm, rehearsed. I've been collecting scrap around town. Mr. Davies pays me for whatever I haul in. Folks throw out all kinds of things, old stoves, busted tools, fence wire. I pick it up and sell it for a few dollars. Teller. Well, that makes sense. Lots of boys are doing that these days. And that was that. If anyone ever asked Davies, he'd simply shrug and say, Sam brings me scrap. I paid him fair. No one questioned a scrap dealer about scrap. He reminded Sam often. Never deposit the whole amount at once. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. Looks like small independent trade money, not payroll. Eventually Sam started putting so much money in the bank that folks began to notice. One of the tellers, who went to church with Sam's mama, picked up the phone one afternoon and called her. Now listen, she said, lowering her voice like she was sharing a prayer request. Where's old Sam getting all this money? Seems awful strange to me. Awful curious. He tells me he's out there hauling scrap metal, taking it down to the dealer and selling it off. But if he's really doing that, he's gonna have to get himself a business license. I don't want that boy getting in trouble. He's a good boy. She didn't stop there. He needs to either get a DBA or go see one of those fancy lawyers downtown and have him set him up an S corporation for tax purposes. Then he needs to go down to the sales tax office and get himself a number and a set of forms he can hand over to the scrap dealer. That way, if he ever expands that business, the IRS ain't gonna come sniffing around. With an S corp he can put himself on payroll, stash money in savings, and stay well protected. She paused, like he was giving Sam's mama, Helen, time to take notes. Bookkeeping looks awful simple, but it ain't. I know a couple of bookkeepers I can recommend, if you need 'em. We just don't want poor Sam stumbling into trouble he didn't mean to make. Then she wrapped it up with the kind of advice that sounds helpful but lands like a warning. You tell that boy to keep working, but he needs to get that business license. And that sales tax number, he can pass it on to the dealer and be absolved of all that high-end paperwork. He could turn this into a full-fledged business and make himself a pretty penny. When Sam came home after school that afternoon, his mother, Helen, met him at the door with a stern look. Sam, she said sharply, why haven't you told me about your little scrap metal business? Why have you been keeping it secret from me? Don't you trust me? What is going on? You are grounded for a month. Straight home every day, no detours. Do you hear me? Mama, I ain't got myself into no kind of trouble. Sam, she snapped, you talk proper to your mama and don't use all that slang. And don't you sass me, young man. Yes, ma'am, he muttered. Well, Mama, me and the scrapyard man, Mr. Davies, we've been doing business for a little while. Helen folded her arms. And how exactly have you been getting scrap metal? From whom? And why? Mama, I think we need to sit down. I gotta show you something, and you need to be sitting when I do. The seriousness in his voice made her face go pale. She followed him to the dinner table. They sat across from each other, Sam with his hands resting on the wood. Mama, he said quietly, look at the table. What I'm about to show you might make you faint. A heartbeat later, a solid bar of pure silver, smooth, bright, unmarked, about 15 pounds materialized on the table between them. Helen recoiled. Sam, are you practicing witchcraft? Voodoo. No, ma'am. I've been going to the library, reading up on all this. They think it's called telekinesis, but not the normal kind where you move stuff with your mind. There's a doctor in England and another in France. They found a couple people who can demolecularize gas, solid, or liquid and convert it into something else. Happens maybe 1 in a billion people. Something in the brain lets them do it. He took a breath. Another book, from a scientist in Sweden, talked about astral projection. Your body stays put, but your mind goes somewhere else on Earth, maybe even farther. Mama, I can see where pollution is, or a trash pile, or anything like that. I can take what I need, tear it apart, and make new things out of it. Real pure things. Helen began to tremble. Her voice shook. I expect you've been talking to someone at the bank. What did he tell you? Mr. Elliott said I ought to get a business license, hire a lawyer to set up an S corporation, and get a tax number from the sales tax office. He said you should go with me. So tomorrow, you and me can go see that lawyer you know. And I'll pay for it out of my money. Helen stared at him, still pale. Sam sat quietly, hands folded. You want to do this? Yes, ma'am, he said. Sam's mother called in to work early the next morning and told them she needed to take care of urgent family business. After that, she phoned the school and explained that Sam wouldn't be attending that day. Some important matters of family had come up, and she needed him with her. Helen then took Sam to the attorney's office down the street from her workplace. Once inside, she explained to the attorney that she wanted to set up a corporation for her son, who had begun dealing in scrap metal and other materials. She wanted his business properly protected and registered, with the necessary paperwork and a sales tax number. The attorney nodded. Of course. We have a boilerplate incorporation document I can have my secretary type up, and we will polish it afterward. Sam, have you thought of a business name? Yes, sir, I have, Sam said, sitting up straighter. The name of my business will be Rowe Metals and Mining, Incorporated. Very good, son, the attorney replied. Yes, sir. I've also been told I need to go to the sales tax office to get a sales tax number. Is that correct? That's right, the attorney said. And you'll need more than that. Your corporation will require a federal tax identification number as well. I can call in and get one for you. That would be wonderful, sir. Do I need to put down a deposit, or should I pay you at the end? Just pay me at the end, son. That's standard business. So, what are you going to call your new business? I'm going to name my business Rowe Metals and Mining Incorporated. All right, that has a nice ring to it. Sounds like a very good name. Yes, sir. Thank you. After leaving the office, Sam and his mother went downtown to the sales tax office. They took a seat and waited until a well-dressed gentleman approached them. May I help you? He asked. Yes, Sam said. I need to get a sales tax number for a corporation, a S-type corporation, that I'm setting up with an attorney down the street. He's getting me a federal tax number while we're here. That's the proper way to do it, the man said approvingly. Glad to see you're starting off on the right foot. Now, I'll need your name, your social security number, and some form of identification. Your school ID will do, or any government document that proves you are who you say you are. And of course, the name of your corporation. Sam squared his shoulders. I'm going to name my business Rowe Metals and Mining Incorporated. His mother gave a small, tired smile, the kind that tried to be proud but couldn't quite hide the worry behind it. All right, son. That's a good name. A strong name. Back at the attorney's office, they handed over the sales tax number. Sam wrote the check slowly, concentrating on each letter of his name as though the neatness of his handwriting might prove he belonged in a place like this. The attorney gathered the papers into a folder and placed it in Sam's hands with a weight that felt heavier than paper. You'll need to keep proper books, he said. Set up a filing system so a bookkeeper or CPA can handle your taxes. Go to one of the furniture stores in town and buy a filing cabinet. Once you've got that, you'll be in good shape. Sam nodded, pretending he understood what proper books meant. They thanked him and walked to Martin's Five and Dime, where the back room smelled of oiled wood and dust. Sam's mother asked Mr. Martin if he had any filing cabinets. Got one left, he said. 3 drawers. Want to see it? Yes, sir, she replied. The cabinet was dented on one side but sturdy, a working man's cabinet, not a fancy one. It felt right. "Could you have it delivered?" she asked. "Sure can. $1 delivery fee." Sam wrote another check. Mr. Martin studied it, then looked at Sam's mother. "This check gonna be good?" She lifted her chin. "Yes. He's got money in the bank. He's started a small business. Scrap metal." Mr. Martin nodded, satisfied, and they left. When they reached home, Sam's mother sank into her chair as though her legs had given out. She pressed her hands to her face. "Lord, Lord, Sam, what have you gotten yourself into, son? Oh Lord, oh God, dear Lord, please help us." Her voice cracked, and the tears came hard, shaking her shoulders. "Mama," Sam said softly, kneeling beside her, "this is legal. It's legitimate. There's nothing to worry about." She looked up at him, tears streaking her cheeks. "But Sam, what if the government starts digging deep? They'll want to know how and where and why. They'll want to know everything. Well, if all the taxes are paid and the invoices are done proper, they won't have any reason to look at me. It's your age, son," she whispered. "Your age. They don't care about the truth. It is when they see a boy doing a man's work." The words hit him like a cold wind. He suddenly understood. If the wrong people noticed, if anyone in authority decided to look too closely, they wouldn't see a businessman. They'd see a boy with money. A boy who could be taken, questioned, pushed around. A boy who wouldn't have any power to stop them. His mother wiped her eyes with the heel of her hand. "Promise me something, Sam." "What, Mama?" "Promise me you'll keep everything clean. Every paper, every penny, every deal. Don't give them a single excuse to come sniffing around." Sam swallowed hard. "I promise." And for the first time, he felt the true weight of the folder the attorney had handed him, not just the papers inside, but the responsibility, the danger, and the thin line he'd have to walk from now on. Sam and his mother truly believed the hard part was over. The license was filed, the sales tax number secured, and for the first time in months they allowed themselves to breathe. What they didn't expect was the avalanche of paperwork, notices, warnings, all of it multiplying like a living thing. 2 weeks after filing, the county clerk's office sent a thick envelope stamped with an official seal. Inside was a stack of forms and citations that made Sam's stomach drop. Notice of zoning noncompliance. Cease and desist order for unauthorized commercial activity. Declaration of request for clarification of business location. Denial of business registration due to zoning restrictions. The county wanted to know exactly where on the property the commercial activity was occurring. They demanded to know whether the business was agricultural, temporary, seasonal, or merely ancillary to the residents. They asked whether the business predated the zoning rule and might be grandfathered in. They warned that commercial operations in a residential-only zone were prohibited and that failure to respond or failure to relocate could result in fines, penalties, or even jail time. Sam reread the letter 3 times before the truth sank in. This wasn't random. The zoning rule was new, only enforced starting last year. Someone had noticed him. Someone with influence. The clerk wouldn't have sent this on his own. A rival? A landowner? A banker? The sheriff or one of his deputies? Whoever it was, they had leaned on the clerk to make Sam's life harder. And the county wasn't the only one circling. The tax assessor wanted to know about unreported equipment, inventory, improvements, and any vehicles used for commerce. The State Board of Equalization requested additional filings. The fire marshal scheduled a surprise inspection and demanded safety upgrades and permits for material storage. The State Highway Department wanted information about signage, access points, traffic flow, right-of-way encroachments, and 100 other details Sam had never even heard of. The stack of notices grew until it covered the kitchen table. Sam's mother stared at the papers, her hands trembling. Then she broke. She sobbed, shaking uncontrollably, and before Sam could reach her, she collapsed. She hit the floor hard, barely breathing. Sam knelt beside her, shaking her shoulders, calling her name. She didn't respond. A cold realization hit him. This was his fault. His dream of making his own money, of building something, might cost his mother her life. He didn't understand fainting, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to fix any of this. All he knew was that the world had suddenly become much bigger, much harsher, and far more dangerous than he ever imagined. Sam didn't know what else to do. He ran to the telephone, the one the family had only managed to get about 18 months earlier, and Sam cranked the handle for the operator. When the line clicked open, he blurted out, "Ma'am, my mama passed out over a letter from the government, and she won't wake up. I think she hit her head. She's not responding. I need help right away." After the operator came online to the telephone and Sam explained the situation, she said, "I'll send over Dr. Richards. He's not terribly far from where you live." Sam thanked the operator, and then hung up the phone and went and checked on his mama. She was still passed out. Dr. Richards knocked on the door about 15 minutes later, and Sam went to the door and let the doctor in. Sam's mom began to regain consciousness. She was kind of dreary-eyed and slightly disoriented as she trying to wake up. The doctor asked Helen if she had hit her head, and she said, "I don't think so. My head doesn't hurt at all." The doctor examined Helen quite closely and determined that she had fainted due to stress. Helen thanked the doctor for coming. After the doctor, Helen looked at Sam and said, "Son, you're going to be the death of me. I'm so sorry, Mama. I don't know what to do." "Well, we're going to have to get you a little office space somewhere, and you're gonna have to pay for it out of your metal money." Helen asked the next door neighbor, Mr. Jacobs, if he could take Sam down to the county clerk's office this morning. "He's going to need help because I cannot take another day off. Otherwise I will lose my job." Mr. Jacobs, the next door neighbor, retired, said he'd be more than happy to help out after Helen had explained to him the full situation. After Mr. Jacobs finished looking through all the letters Sam had gotten in the mail, he smiled. "I believe I've got the first part of your problem solved. Let's go down and see old man Dugan. He's got a storage room in the back of his barber shop. That room's been empty since 29. I bet he'd rent it for $1, maybe $1.50 a month at most. What do you say we go down there? About time I had a shave and a haircut anyway. Once I get him buttered up, he'll feel obliged. We've known each other for years, so I can twist his arm gentle-like." He glanced at Sam. "You got any money on you, boy? If not, we'll stop at the bank and get you a few dollars so you can pay Dugan up front. He might even try to talk you into a haircut. Business goes smoother that way, if you know what I mean." Sam had $8 in his pocket, but nearly $2,000 in his checking account by now, about what a highly skilled man made in a year in the 1930s. So he and Mr. Jacobs headed to the barber shop, where old man Dugan sat reading a magazine. "Dugan," Jacobs said, "I need a shave and a haircut. What do you say?" Earl Dugan looked up. "Sit right down, Jacobs. I'll get to you. Boy's gonna need a haircut too, once we're done. I can fix him up right after," Dugan added as he draped the towel and set hot cloths on Jacobs' face. Things moved slow, the way they did in 1934. While lathering him up, Jacobs asked, "Say, you still got that back room you've been wanting to rent out?" "Well, yeah. Been trying to rent that thing for the longest. I've got you a renter. Pays cash on the barrelhead, up front." "That's so? Well, let him know the room goes for $1.50 a month. Sounds fair. He just needs it to be a legal business address. Doesn't need a storefront, just a place the local government can point to and say he's in the business district." "What kind of business is he running?" "Metals and mining upstart. Small for now. Works mostly with scrap dealers." "Do tell. And who's this renter?" Jacobs nodded toward Sam. "The kid. Sam here." "You're joking, Jacobs." "Nope. Boy's got a business license drawn up by a lawyer, sales tax number, IRS number, the whole works." "For crying out loud, Jacobs, you can't be serious." "I'm as serious as a heart attack. Seen all the paperwork myself. When we're done here, we're going to finish the rest of it and get him started proper. There's no way a boy like that has a metals and mining business." "Well, he does. And he needs to get off the ground faster. Boy's made close to 2,000 already." "When's the last time you made 2,000 in a few months?" Dugan blinked. "So that's what all the gossip's been about, his mama fainting when she saw all those government papers come in." "Yep. She didn't know what he'd gotten himself into. But I've seen the boy in action. He's smarter than 9/10 of the business folks in this town. So how about 3 months rent up front?" "Well, I could use 3 months rent." Dugan looked at Sam. "All right, son. Pay the man." "Yes, sir," Sam said. He counted out the money carefully and handed it over. "I'll need a receipt, sir. Makes it all legal." "Boy's got a head on his shoulders," Dugan said. Yeah, I'll rent it to him. Any man, or boy about to become one, who handles business like that has my respect. Soon as we're done with this haircut and shave, I'll write it up. He can have the room as long as he pays. You won't have much foot traffic through there, Jacobs added. Maybe a few government folks at first, checking that it's legitimate. After that, it'll slow to a snail's crawl. Well, I was hoping for a little traffic, Dugan grumbled. Could use the business. You hear that, Sam? Jacobs said. You're gonna have to drag a few folks in here for haircuts and shaves. Yes, sir. I'll do my best. Both Jacobs and Dugan laughed at that. One by one, Mr. Jacobs took Sam to each and every appropriate government office said had sent a letter out. Finally come up to the county clerk's office, they went in to see the county clerk. Earl, the county clerk, spoke in a loud voice. Next. Earl, the clerk, tapped his pencil. Office address. 2413, Peach Street, room 1B, said Sam. Ain't that the spare room the barber has been trying to rent out since 29? Yes, sir. Here is the receipt for 90 days rent. Before Sam could speak again, Mr. Jacobs leaned in. Earl, you know good and well the boy's just picking up scrap till now. He has acquired rights to some mines and refining. The boy's got business sense, I tell you. Now you know he's going to put that into action as well. Going to become an empire before you know it. Put that down. Earl raised an eyebrow. Is that right? That's right, said Jacobs. Earl scratched something in the ledger. Fine. But if he causes trouble, it's on you. Mr. Jacobs grinned. Wouldn't be the first time. When they stepped outside, Mrs. Langley was already on her porch across the street, pretending to water her geraniums. Heard you got yourself an office now, Sam, she called. Sam groaned. Mr. Jacobs chuckled. Party line travels faster than the mail. Yes, ma'am. Got to make my way, you know. The party line creates a community gossip line that explodes with misinformation. Everybody's heard about Helen by now. How she had fainted and nearly died according to the gossip line. The feed store owner embellished upon it, church secretary really embellished it, and the story just got bigger and bigger and bigger. The following morning just before school, Sam took shortcut by the junk dealer. Junk dealer told Sam he'd heard about the gossip line, and he said, oh my gosh, they're really going to make hay out of this. Well, are you up to about 15 tons of high quality steel? Yeah, just put it right over there, Sam. Sam concentrated. In a few moments 15 tons of the highest quality steel you've ever seen suddenly appeared. Gotta run to school, we're still on consignment, aren't we? Yep, we're still on consignment, ought to have this sold by the end of the week. As soon as I get paid I'll cut your check for the full amount we agreed upon. Thank you so much, said Sam. And off to school Sam went. By lunchtime the whole schoolyard buzzed like a kicked anthill. Word had traveled from Mrs. Langley's porch to the church quilting circle, from the quilting circle to the butcher, and from the butcher to every mother packing lunches that morning. By the time Sam sat down with his sandwich, 3 boys were already staring at him like he'd sprouted horns. Hey, Empire boy, Tommy Jenkins said, plopping down across from him. Heard you bought the whole block. Sam rolled his eyes. I rented a room. Sure, Tommy said, drawing out the word like he was humoring a toddler. And I suppose you didn't save Helen's life either. I didn't, Sam started, but Tommy cut him off. My ma says you carried her all the way to Doc's office yourself. Says you ran so fast your shoes caught fire. Sam groaned. I wasn't even in the room when she fainted. Party line says otherwise, Tommy said, shrugging. And you know the party line never lies. When the final bell rang, Sam slipped out the back door and cut across the alley toward Peach Street. He needed to check on the steel shipment before the junk dealer sold it. But halfway there, he spotted Mr. Jacobs waiting on the corner. Had tipped low, walk with me, Jacobs said. Sam fell into step beside him. Something wrong? Jacobs chuckled. Depends on your definition. Earl's already been asking questions. Says he's never seen a boy your age with a business license, let alone one renting office space. I didn't ask for any of this, Sam muttered. No, Jacobs said, but you're in it now. And you need to understand something. Once the county clerk writes your name in that ledger, you're not just a kid picking up scrap anymore. You're a man with obligations. Taxes. Inspections. Folks watching what you do. Sam swallowed. I can handle it. Jacobs gave him a sideways look. I know you can. But you need to be smart. Quiet. Careful. You keep conjuring steel in broad daylight and someone's going to start asking how. They reached the junk dealer's lot. The dealer waved them over, grinning ear to ear. Sam, you weren't kidding about that steel. I've already got 2 buyers lined up. But listen. He lowered his voice. A fellow from the foundry came by. Said he heard you've got access to unusual supply chains. Asked if you were taking private orders. Sam's stomach dropped. What did you tell him? That I don't know nothing about nothing, the dealer said. But he'll be back. Jacobs put a hand on Sam's shoulder. This is what I mean. You're drawing attention. Some of it harmless. Some of it, not. Sam nodded slowly. So what do I do? Jacobs smiled, but it wasn't a comforting smile. It was the smile of a man who'd lived long enough to know trouble when he saw it. You build your empire, he said. But you build it with your eyes open. You keep your back to the wall. The foundry boss isn't curious. He's hunting. Sam realizes something the moment the foundry boss starts asking about unusual supply chains. In that era, steel is tightly controlled. Foundries sit at the crossroads of unions, mob interests, and political machines. Nobody asks questions like that unless someone above them is nervous. When the boss returns, he's not alone. He has 15 men trailing behind him, 10 of them union roughnecks whose entire job is to make people afraid. He doesn't bother with pleasantries. I want the name of that supplier, he says. And I want it now. Mr. Davies folds instantly. Terrified, he stares at the ground. Rowe metals in mining, he blurts. I just happened on the fellow that runs it. He brings me metal sometimes, I resell it to you. No contract. Free country. You can buy from him or not. The boss doesn't want to buy. He wants to know whether someone is cutting into a racket. And unions are not known for their generosity when someone cuts into their turf. The junk dealer becomes a liability. Davies is friendly, but he's loose-lipped and excited. That makes him dangerous. Sam sees it clearly. The man who helped him get started might now be the man who gets him killed. Sam has to choose, cut him out, warn him, or pull him closer. This is Sam's first real leadership decision. Sam steps out of the shadows. He goes directly to the foundry's purchasing master, Mr. Gower, a man who knew Sam's father and has already heard the gossip. After speaking with Sam's mother, Helen, he's predisposed to give the boy a chance. Sam breaks. He shows Gower how he makes steel. Unlimited amounts. Anytime. Gower is stunned, but he's also practical. He agrees to keep quiet. Sam offers the foundry a 30% discount below standard wholesale. Gower signs the contract with a grin. Saving the foundry money will make him look like a genius. The rail yard foreman notices the impossible. Mr. Kellerman, the rail yard foreman, has seen every hustle imaginable. He's not mobbed up, not political, not union muscle. He's something far more dangerous. He understands patterns. Sam's steel appears out of nowhere. No rail cars. No manifests. No timing. Yet the paperwork is perfect and the freight is prepaid. Kellerman notices the foundry's intake numbers don't match their usual suppliers. A new name has appeared. He doesn't confront Sam. He doesn't threaten him. He doesn't even acknowledge him. He simply starts asking quiet questions. He's not looking to shut Sam down. He's deciding whether Sam is a problem or an opportunity. The Whisper Network invents a man who doesn't exist. Malloy, Kellerman, and the union men all start asking around. But none of them imagine the supplier is a child. Sam then realizes something powerful. Adults will invent a plausible adult before they ever suspect a child. This gives Sam cover. It also gives him a problem. Because now the Whisper Network is hunting for a man who isn't real. And when they don't find him, they'll start looking harder. A new player arrives, Patrick Red Callahan. The foundry boss isn't the top of the food chain. He answers to someone who controls zoning, permits, and the union's political shield. The alderman sends his fixer. Red Callahan is polite. Red is calm. Red is lethal. He visits the foundry. He visits the rail yard. He visits the junk dealers. And everywhere he goes, he asks the same question. Who's moving steel without paying the tax? Not a literal tax, a political one. Red doesn't care about the steel. He cares about the precedent. If someone can move 1,000 tons a month without paying the machine, others might try. Red's job is to make sure that never happens. For the first time, Sam is up against someone who isn't greedy, isn't curious, and isn't impressed. Red wants order. Sam is disorder. And Sam is 9 years old. The foundry boss tightens the noose. The next morning, a runner brings a message. Boss says he'll give terms. Says he respects a man who keeps his head down. Wants to know if you're willing to move volume. That word volume is a test. If Sam says yes, he admits he has a steady supply chain. If he says no, he looks weak. Sam asks Davies, what did he look like when he said it? Davies thinks. Calm. Too calm. Like he already had a plan. That tells Sam everything. The boss isn't negotiating. He's probing. Sam sends back a message. Supplier says he'll talk volume only after he sees the terms. His first real countermove. He's not bending. He's not running. Instead, he's forcing the boss to reveal intent. Sam is now a tightening web of adult power structures. A 9-year-old who understands leverage better than grown men. A whisper network chasing a ghost. A political fixer who represents the real threat. A foundry boss testing Sam's legitimacy. A rail yard foreman quietly mapping the impossible. This is the moment where Sam's world stops being a hustle and becomes a chess match. Red Callahan meets the ghost supplier. Red doesn't come with muscle. He doesn't need it. He finds Sam exactly the way Sam hoped no one ever would, alone, small, and looking like a kid who should be skipping stones, not running a black market steel pipeline. Red steps into the yard like he's walking into a church. Calm. Respectful. Deadly. You're a hard man to find, he says. Sam doesn't answer. He's calculating. Red isn't here to buy. He's here to restore order. That means Sam has one chance to flip the board. Red studies him for a long moment. You're the one moving steel without paying the tax. Sam swallows. He doesn't deny it. He doesn't confirm it. He simply says, you're getting a 30% discount. Red's eyebrow lifts. He wasn't expecting that. Sam presses. You shut me down, you lose that discount. You lose the savings. You lose the feather in Gower's hat. You lose the foundry's margin. Red steps closer, voice soft. Son, this isn't about money. Sam nods. He already knew that. Then let me make it simple, Sam says. I quit. Red blinks. Nobody quits the machine. Sam continues, steady as a man 3 times his age. I stop selling steel. I go back to copper, nickel, aluminum, zinc. Small stuff. Scrap dealer quantities. Nothing that touches your racket. Red studies him again, really studies him. This isn't defiance. This is strategy. Sam finishes. You leave me alone, and you keep your order. You push me, and you lose the only supplier giving you a 30% discount. A long silence stretches between them. Red realizes the truth. This kid isn't trying to build an empire. He's trying to survive. And that makes him unpredictable. Red finally speaks. You're offering me peace. Sam shakes his head. I'm offering you stability. Red exhales through his nose, half amusement, half respect. You know what happens if you lie to me? Sam nods. Then don't make me. Red turns to leave. He doesn't threaten. He doesn't warn. He just says, if you walk away from steel, the machine walks away from you. Sam watches him go, heart pounding. He's not sure if he won. Or if he just bought himself a little time. But for the first time, Sam didn't react to the world. He shaped it. Sam hands Red the decision. Red has already taken a few steps away when Sam speaks again, quiet, steady, not a hint of fear. Red. Callahan pauses. He turns back slowly, like a man who expects to hear an excuse or a plea. Instead, he gets neither. Sam stands there, hands at his sides, posture calm. You talk it over with whoever you gotta talk it over with. Red's expression doesn't change, but something in his eyes sharpens. Sam continues, voice even. You negotiate with them in any manner you personally decide. Sam doesn't blink. Then you get back with me, and I will abide by every rule you make. Period. Red studies him, really studies him. This isn't defiance. This isn't bargaining. This is a child offering the machine something it never gets. A clean decision. A quiet outcome. No story. Red steps closer, lowering his voice. You understand what you're saying? Sam nods. If you tell me to walk away from steel, I walk. No complaint. No noise. No whispers. Another nod. If you tell me to keep supplying, I stay small. I stay quiet. I stay invisible. And you keep your discount. Red's jaw shifts, just a fraction. He's weighing the real danger. Not Sam, but the precedent. If word gets out that someone negotiated with the machine and lived, they're finished. If Sam walks away quietly, the machine stays intact. If Sam stays under their terms, the machine gets cheaper steel and no trouble. Once again Sam finishes. This is your call, Red. Not mine. Silence stretches. Not hostile, heavy. Red finally nods once. Not agreement. Not approval. Recognition. I'll talk to them, he says. And when I come back, whatever I say, that's the way it is. Sam nods. That's the way it is. Red turns and walks away, and for the first time, Sam realizes something. He didn't win. He didn't lose. He did something far more dangerous. He made the machine responsible for its own choice. The moment Sam's proposal hits the table, Red lays out Sam's exact words. No embellishment. No interpretation. If the union is angry because they're supplying the steel, why don't I just supply the union with the steel? The room freezes. Red continues. They still supply you. You still get the discount. Everybody pays less. Everybody wins. The alderman's eyes narrow. Malloy leans forward. The union captains stop breathing. The procurement man is the first to speak. He's offering vertical integration. Malloy snaps. He's offering to cut us out. The procurement man shakes his head. No. He's offering to make us the middlemen. We buy cheaper. We sell cheaper. We pocket the difference. The alderman turns slowly toward Red. Is the kid serious? Red nods once. He's not bluffing. He doesn't bluff. The union realizes the stakes. One of the union captains slams his palm on the table. We can't take steel from a kid. The alderman shoots him a look. We already are. Silence. The other captain, the smarter one, speaks carefully. If we take his steel, we control the narrative. We say we found a new supplier. We say we negotiated the discount. Nobody ever hears about the kid. Malloy mutters. And if we don't take it? The procurement man answers. Then he walks. And we go back to paying market rates. And the market is a knife fight. The alderman sees the goose that lays the golden egg. Alderman Keating leans back, fingers steepled. Let me get this straight. He points at Red. The boy gives us the discount. Points at Malloy. You get your steel. Points at the union captains. You get to say you're still the gatekeepers. Points at the procurement man. And the city saves money. He pauses. And the kid stays invisible. Red nods. That's his condition. He stays small. He stays quiet. He abides by whatever rules we set. The alderman exhales slowly. Gentlemen, we'd be idiots not to take this deal. The internal negotiation, what's the catch? Malloy finally voices the fear everyone shares. What if he grows? Red shakes his head. He won't. He doesn't want power. He wants peace. The alderman adds. And if he ever does grow, we cut him off. He's giving us the knife to hold to his throat. The union captains exchange a look. They don't like it. But they understand it. The procurement man closes his ledger. We take the deal. The alderman's final word. Keating stands. Red, you go back to the boy. You tell him this. He ticks the points off on his fingers. 1. He supplies the union. 2. The union supplies the foundry. 3. He stays invisible. 4. He stays small. 5. He stays loyal. And 6. If he ever makes us regret this, we erase him. Red nods. He'll understand. The alderman's voice softens not kindly, but with respect. He's the only one in this room who already does. They suddenly realize that Sam, who can make metal out of thin air, can become a true asset. It binds Sam to the machine without making him subordinate. It gives the union a face-saving win, which is crucial. It keeps Sam invisible, which is his greatest protection. It makes Sam indispensable, which is his greatest leverage. It turns the machine into Sam's distributor, which is genius. It keeps the discount flowing, which keeps everyone invested. And most importantly, Sam didn't negotiate for power. He negotiated for stability. That makes him more dangerous than any adult they've ever dealt with. The union man asks the question nobody wants to ask. They're all still staring at the impossible stack of steel Sam just produced. The alderman is pale. Malloy looks like he swallowed a railroad spike. The procurement man is touching the steel samples like they're holy relics. Then one of the union captains blurts out the obvious. How the hell are we supposed to explain this? We can't just say it fell out of the sky. Where'd we get it? Everyone turns to Sam. And Sam stays calm, polite, 9 years old. Shrugs. I'm Rowe Metal and Mining Incorporated. The room freezes. Sam continues, matter of fact. I get all my stuff from outside the country. Low wages, low prices, low shipping, low everything. I just pass the savings along to you. He gestures at the steel like it's nothing special. I'm just a low-level supplier trying to do my thing. The adults react like they've been hit with a brick. The procurement man's jaw drops. Malloy stares at Sam like he's seeing a ghost. The alderman actually laughs once, sharp, disbelieving. Then stops when he realizes Sam is serious. Red just watches, expression unreadable. The smarter union captain whispers. It's perfect. The alderman nods slowly. It explains the price. It explains the volume. It explains the paperwork. It explains why nobody's seen the shipments. Malloy adds. Foreign supplier. Foreign labor. Foreign shipping. Nobody questions that. The procurement man mutters. And if anyone does question it, we tell them to take it up with the import office. The alderman's eyes sharpen. Which we control. The revelation hits them all at once. Sam didn't just give them a cover story. He gave them a shield. A plausible, airtight, politically convenient shield. And the adults realize something terrifying. This kid thinks in systems. He thinks in supply chains. He thinks in plausible deniability. He thinks like them. But cleaner. Smarter. Simpler. And without ego. Malloy whispers. He's not a supplier. He's a solution. Red finally speaks. He's the only reason any of this works. The alderman makes the call. He turns to Sam. You're Rowe Metal and Mining. Foreign supplier. Low-cost imports. We'll handle the paperwork. Sam nods. Okay. The alderman looks at the others. This is the story. This is the truth. This is the lie. And this is the law. Anyone who breaks it answers to me. The union captains nod. Malloy nods. The procurement man nods. Red doesn't nod, he just watches Sam, with a new kind of respect. One Sam becomes the machine's best kept secret. They now have a cover story so good it becomes dangerous to question. Two, the union captains start treating Sam like a foreign supplier. They'll demand schedules, manifests, quotas, and Sam will have to improvise. 3, the alderman realizes Sam could solve other problems, if he can stabilize steel. What else could he stabilize? 4, rival districts hear rumors of cheap foreign steel, they'll want in. Or they'll want to shut it down. 5, Kellerman, the pattern man, knows foreign imports don't behave like this. He'll start digging. 6, Sam's mother notices the sudden increase in foreign shipments. She'll ask questions Sam can't answer. 7, Sam begins to understand the weight of the lie he just created. He didn't just give them a cover story. He gave them a myth. And myths have consequences. The Kellerman's bosses panic, and now Sam's perfect lie is put to the ultimate test. The adults stare at Sam as he has just been speaking prophecy. Kellerman, or anyone who digs, runs into the perfect wall. Kellerman is angry and goes on the hunt. Kellerman, the pattern man, hearing this story, and deciding to check it out. He goes to the yard. He touches the steel. He inspects the grain. He pulls out his magnifying glass. And what does he find? Nothing wrong. Nothing suspicious. Nothing traceable. Because Sam's steel is perfect. Better than perfect. It's the kind of quality that foreign mills wish they could produce. Kellerman mutters to himself. If this is foreign import, it's the best damn foreign import I've ever seen. He checks the paperwork. It's clean. He checks the manifests. They're clean. He checks the signatures. All clean. He goes back to the union captain. If this kid says he's got foreign connections, I believe him. The captain shrugs. Told you. Boy's not just here in the States. He's connected outside. Don't know how he did it. He taps the steel. But here's the proof. The union man realizes the genius of Sam's cover, because it is now in action. Sam's lie works because 1. It's boring. Foreign steel imports? Nobody wants to dig into that. It's paperwork hell. 2. It's plausible. Cheap labor, cheap shipping, cheap materials. Everyone knows foreign mills undercut domestic ones. 3. It explains everything. The price. The volume. The irregular timing. The lack of rail shipments. The perfect paperwork. The discount. 4. It gives the machine a shield. If anyone questions it, the machine can say, take it up with the import office, which they control. 5. It makes Sam look small. A low-level importer. A nobody. A kid with connections. Not a threat. Not a rival. Not a problem. 6. It gives the adults a story they can repeat without thinking. And the best lies are the ones people want to believe. The ghost in the machine. He didn't just build a cover story. He built a global phantom corporation. And now the entire city believes in it. Sam expands the empire without ever saying the word empire. The union captains are still buzzing about the steel, the quality, the price, the foreign cover story, the buffer. Then Sam drops the next twist like it's nothing. While limited to steel. The room goes silent. Sam continues, calm as ever. I can do copper, zinc, aluminum, nickel. Whatever you need. Malloy blinks. The alderman leans forward. Red's eyes narrow, not in suspicion, but in recognition. Sam gestures toward the union captains. You're the distributor. You're the big deal in town. You're the ones selling to the foundries. He taps his own chest. I'm just raw metal and mining. I supply you. You supply everyone else. The smarter union captain whispers. We control the whole damn market. Sam nods. And nobody will ever trace it back to me. The buffer becomes a fortress. Sam lays it out with the same innocent logic that terrifies the adults. Like I said, if I give you steel, you sell steel. If I give you copper, you sell copper. If I give you zinc, you sell zinc. He shrugs. The more you sell, the bigger the buffer. The alderman mutters. And the bigger the buffer, the harder it is to trace. Sam nods. Exactly. Then he adds the part that seals the deal. And I'll still sell tiny amounts to the scrapyard I've always dealt with. Just enough to look normal. Just enough to keep my story clean. Red smiles, just a little. You're hiding in plain sight. Sam shrugs again. Scrapyard quantities don't raise questions. Big shipments do. So you handle the big shipments. He points at the union captains. You're the bosses. You're the distributors. You're the ones everyone sees. The adults realize the scope of what Sam just offered. The procurement man is the first to understand the full implications. If we control steel, copper, zinc, aluminum, nickel, and then Malloy finishes, we control every foundry in the district. The alderman adds. And every construction outfit. The smarter union captain adds. And every machine shop. Red adds quietly. And every rival district that wants in. The alderman sits back, stunned. This isn't a supplier. Malloy whispers. This is a pipeline. The procurement man corrects him. This is a monopoly. Red corrects him. This is a secret monopoly. Sam's final assurance, the perfect disguise. Sam finishes with the line that makes the adults realize he's thought 10 steps ahead. I'll keep selling tiny amounts to the scrap yard. Just like always. Nobody will be the wiser. Then Alderman nods slowly. You're invisible. Sam nods. And you're untouchable. The union captains exchange a look. A look that says they've just become the most powerful men in the district. Without lifting a finger. Red watches Sam with something like awe. Kid, you just built an empire and handed it to them. Sam shakes his head. No. I built a buffer. You built the empire. Everyone in the room suddenly realizes. The union becomes a multi-metal distributor. They're no longer middlemen. They're wholesalers. They're kingmakers. Rival districts start begging for access. They want steel. They want copper. They want zinc. They want whatever raw metal and mining can provide. The alderman gains unprecedented political power. He can reward allies with cheap metal. He can starve enemies by cutting them off. Sam's scrapyard sales keep him invisible. He looks like a kid selling junk metal. Nobody suspects he's the source of a regional supply chain. Kellerman notices the pattern expanding. He sees more shipments, more materials, more irregularities, more perfect paperwork. He starts digging. Sam's mother notices the stress. She sees late nights, strange men, whispers, tension. She starts asking questions. Other foundries want to steal the supplier. They think raw metal and mining is a foreign giant. They want to poach it. They want to control it. They want to own it. They have no idea it's a 9-year-old. Instead that it is all being fed through the Steel Workers Union. They can't touch raw metal and mining. They have exclusive contracts with the corporation. They can't poach it because of the union contracts, so now everybody has to bend a knee and go through the unions in order to get the cheaper steel. This does not set well with many corporations, but they have no other choice. A contract is a contract is a contract. And if they want the cheaper price, they have to purchase it from the union. Sam's world is rapidly changing. The union even went so far to protect Sam, as he was their brand new asset. They helped clear up all of the notice of zoning non-compliance, cease and desist order for unauthorized commercial activity, declaration of request for clarification of business location, and the denial of business registration due to zoning restrictions. It was all as if it never happened. That evening, Sam walked next door and knocked politely on Mr. Jacobs's door. A moment later, the old man stepped out onto the porch, wiping his hands on a rag. "Well now, Sam," he said, smiling. "What can I do for you this fine evening?" "Mr. Jacobs," Sam began, "I've worked out a deal with the union reps, the foundry, and the steel mill. Looks like I might finally have some money coming in. And I'd like to hire you as corporate manager of my business, if you'll take the position." Mr. Jacobs raised an eyebrow, amused. "It'll only be part-time," Sam continued. "You'll still have plenty of time to enjoy retirement. But I'm gonna need a bookkeeper, and I gotta fix up the office a bit. Nothing fancy, just enough to make it look presentable." He took a breath, steadying himself. "Since I'll be working with the bigwigs, I'll pay you a full manager's salary. As the business grows, I'll add more perks. You'll work part-time but get paid full-time. And if you're willing to help me get this off the ground, I'll even cut you in for a percentage." Mr. Jacobs didn't answer right away. He studied Sam for a long moment, then a slow grin spread across his face. "I'd be more than happy to help you out, Sam," he said. "Truth be told, I was wondering when you were finally gonna ask me." Sam felt his shoulders loosen. "You're about the only man I trust around here," he said quietly. "I've known you my whole life. You always looked out for me and Ma, especially after my dad passed. I want to pay that back. I want to do this right." Mr. Jacobs's expression softened. "Sam, you've grown up faster than most men twice your age. You've got a better head on your shoulders than 90% of the full-grown bulls I know. It'll be my honor." "There's just one thing I need from you," Sam said. "If you're gonna be my manager, we gotta put on a few airs. On the days I have to go to the union yard to deliver steel or whatever metals they order, I need you to drive me there from school. I'll make the metals, top grade, no shortcuts. Then you drive me home." He shrugged. "The telephone tree's gonna go crazy. Let em. You're my general manager, who better to drive me to and from a business deal." "Sam, I swear you have definitely got a good head on your shoulders for business boy. I've known business managers all my life that didn't know half what you know, and you're just 9 years old. Where did you come up with all this information?" "Well, tell you the truth, Mr. Jacobs, things just popped into my head as situations presented themselves. I didn't get this out of books or school or nowhere. Just sort of happened in the moment, I guess you'd say." Then Sam suddenly realized that he does not have any tax deductions for all this money he is making, and the end of the quarter is growing near. Sam then says to Mr. Jacobs, "I just suddenly realized something. I do not have any income tax deductions for this quarter. What am I going to do?" Mr. Jacobs blinked, then let out a low whistle. "Now that," he said, "is a real problem. A grown man with a whole office staff can get tripped up by taxes, let alone a boy running half the county's metal works. Sam swallowed. So what do I do? Mr. Jacobs rubbed his chin. Well, you got two choices. You can pay the government a big old chunk of your profits. Or you can start spending money on the business real expenses, mind you, nothing made up before the quarter closes. He gave Sam a sideways look. And that means we've got ourselves another job to do. Mr. Jacobs stared at him for a moment, then burst out laughing, not mocking, but warm and surprised. Sam Rowe, you really are running a grown man's business, aren't you? I just realized it. Sam didn't smile. Mr. Jacobs, I'm serious. If I don't have deductions, I'm gonna owe more money than I even know how to count. The old man wiped his eyes and straightened up. All right then. First thing you need to know is this: taxes ain't magic. They're math. And math has rules. Lucky for you, rules can be learned. He tapped the side of his head. And I know just the place to start. He folded his arms, thinking hard, the way he did when fixing an engine or figuring out why the tractor wouldn't start. Sam, he said slowly, you just asked the right question. Most grown men don't think about taxes until the sheriff's stapling a notice to their front door. Sam's stomach tightened. So I'm sure enough in trouble then. No, boy, Mr. Jacobs said firmly. You're not in trouble. You're just growing. And when a business grows, the government wants to know about it. He motioned for Sam to sit on the porch step beside him. Now listen close. You don't need magic. You need expenses. Real ones. Things your business actually uses. Tools. Supplies. Equipment. Maybe even a little bigger office space. You spend money on the business, and that lowers what the government says you owe. Sam blinked. So, I have to spend money to save money. That's the long and short of it, Mr. Jacobs said. And lucky for you, I know exactly what you need. He stood, wiped his hands on his rag again, and gave Sam a look that was half proud, half conspiratorial. Tomorrow after school, you and me are going shopping. Not for toys. For business. We're gonna get you set up proper before the quarter ends. Sam felt the panic drain out of him, replaced by something steadier. Mr. Jacobs, thank you. Son, the old man said, patting his shoulder, you hired me as your manager. This is what managers do. The shopping trip. The next afternoon, Mr. Jacobs was already waiting in his truck when Sam stepped off the school bus. The old Ford idled with a soft rattle, the kind that said it had been around long enough to earn its place. Sam climbed in, backpack still slung over one shoulder. You really think we gotta do all this today? He asked. Mr. Jacobs put the truck in gear. Quarter ends Friday. Today's Wednesday. That gives us 2 days to make you look like a legitimate business owner instead of a 9-year-old with a miracle furnace in his backyard. Sam winced. When you say it like that. It's the truth, Mr. Jacobs said, but his tone was gentle. And truth is what keeps the government off your back. They drove to the hardware store first, a squat building with faded red paint, and a bell that clanged when they walked in. The air smelled like sawdust and machine oil. First thing, Mr. Jacobs said, grabbing a cart, you need tools. Real ones. Not those little things you've been borrowing from your mama's kitchen drawer. Sam followed him down the aisles, watching as the old man tossed items into the cart. A proper ledger book. A lockbox. A heavy-duty tape measure. A set of wrenches. A metal file. A small shop vacuum. A fireproof apron and gloves. Do I really need all this? Sam asked. You need to look like you need it, Mr. Jacobs said. That's half the battle. They checked out, loaded the truck, and headed to the scrap yard next. The owner, a wiry man named Hank, waved from behind a mountain of rusted metal. Well, I'll be, Hank said. Didn't expect to see you two together. Business trip, Mr. Jacobs said. Sam here needs raw materials. Hank raised an eyebrow. This for that little side gig you got going. Sam swallowed. Yes, sir. Hank shrugged. Money's money. Help yourself. Sam picked through piles of scrap, selecting pieces he knew he could melt down quickly. Mr. Jacobs watched him work with a quiet pride. You see what you're doing, he said. What? Buying materials. That's a deduction. And it's something you actually use. That's the important part. They loaded the truck again, the bed now clanking with metal. They were halfway through loading the scrap metal into the truck when Sam suddenly stopped, one hand still gripping a twisted length of rebar. His eyes narrowed, not in confusion, but in that way Mr. Jacobs had started recognizing. The boy wasn't looking at the metal. He was looking through it, like he was seeing something no one else could. Mr. Jacobs, Sam said slowly, why does Hank sell all this scrap by weight? Because that's how scrap's sold, the old man said. Always has been. But that's dumb, Sam said, matter of fact. Some of this stuff is almost pure steel. Some of it's junk. He's losing money. And so are the mills. Sam held up the rebar. If I sort this stuff before I melt it, separate the high grade from the low grade, I can sell the good metal at a higher price. And the mills will pay it, because they won't have to refine it as much. He looked up, excitement building. And that means I can buy more scrap. Which means more deductions. And more profit. And I can do it fast before the quarter ends. Mr. Jacobs stared at him, stunned. Sam Rowe, you just invented a whole new business model. Sam shrugged. It just popped into my head. The twist that emerges from Sam's insight. Hank, the scrapyard owner, overhears the tail end of the conversation. He steps closer, arms crossed. You saying I'm pricing my own yard wrong, boy. Sam freezes, but Mr. Jacobs steps in. He ain't criticizing you, Hank. He's thinking out loud. But Hank isn't angry. He's curious. You really think you can sort my scrap better than my men? Sam nods. Yes, sir. I can tell what's high grade just by looking. And I can melt it cleaner than anyone else in the county. Hank whistles low. Well, I'll be. If you can do that, I might have a job for you. Or a partnership. Mr. Jacobs stiffens. This is exactly the kind of attention they didn't want. But Sam's eyes light up. Mr. Hank, if I sort your scrap, can I buy the high-grade pieces at a discount? Since I'm doing the work. Hank scratches his chin. That depends on how good you are. Sam picks up 3 random pieces of metal, taps each one with his knuckle, listens, and sorts them instantly. Hank's jaw drops. Boy, you just did in 5 seconds what takes my men half an hour. And just like that, Sam has a new revenue stream, a new deduction source, a new ally, and a new complication. Because Hank is going to talk. And word will spread. Their last stop was the office supply store. Sam wrinkled his nose at the rows of binders and filing cabinets. This place smells like homework. That's because it's where grown-ups keep their lives from falling apart, Mr. Jacobs said. You'll learn to appreciate it. They bought a filing cabinet, receipt envelopes, a date stamp, a cheap desk lamp, a corkboard, a box of manila folders. As they walked out, Sam felt lighter, not because the problem was solved, but because it finally felt solvable. But the moment they reached the truck, a voice called out, Sam Rowe. Sam froze. Mr. Jacobs turned slowly. A man in a county. Issued. Windbreaker approached, clipboard in hand. Name's Mr. Lafferty, he said. County Business Registrar. I've been trying to reach your household. We received notice of a new business operating out of your address. Sam's heart thudded. Mr. Jacobs stepped forward, calm as a pond at dawn. That'd be me, he said. I'm the general manager. The boy's just helping me out. Lafferty looked between them, skeptical. Well, I'll need to verify some things. Paperwork. Income estimates. Equipment inventory. And I'll need to inspect the workspace. Sam felt his stomach drop. Mr. Jacobs didn't blink. Of course. We were just heading home. You're welcome to follow us. Lafferty nodded and walked back to his car. Sam whispered, Mr. Jacobs, what are we gonna do? The old man leaned down, voice low and steady. We're gonna do what we always do, Sam. We're gonna tell the truth. You know, the version that keeps you safe. He opened the truck door. And we're gonna make sure your operation looks like a real business before that man steps foot in your yard. Lafferty arrives at Sam's house. They walk to the shed in the backyard, and the inspector looks throughout the shed, and it's full of scrap metal. The shed looks legit for now. The truck full of furniture and office supplies is definitely legit. Sam has a small office in the business district on Peach Street. Sam is actively looking to gear up to a bigger office that is legit. Sam tells Lafferty that he is looking for a larger place to put the scrap and wants to make it in the business district as well. That way he can get it out of his mother's old store shed. Ambitious. County likes ambition. He scribbled again. Well, he said, snapping the clipboard shut, everything looks in order. You pass. He gave Sam a nod that felt almost paternal. Good luck to you, son. He walked back to his car, leaving Sam standing in the yard, breath finally returning to his lungs. Mr. Jacobs clapped him on the shoulder. See? Told you. Truth, just dressed up for company. The gossip tree infects the school. The adults have already turned Sam into a myth, a threat, a miracle, or a moral panic. Kids don't understand economics, unions, zoning violations, or corporate poaching, but they do understand. My dad says that Rowe kid is ruining everything. My mom says he's dangerous. My uncle says he's some kind of witch. My brother says he's cheating the system. My church says he's unnatural. Kids repeat what they hear. They distort it. They weaponize it. The next morning at school, Sam felt the shift before he even reached the front steps. The kids weren't just whispering, they were staring. Whole clusters of them. Some wide-eyed. Some smirking. Some looking at him like he was a stray dog that wandered into the wrong yard. A boy from the 5th grade muttered loud enough for everyone to hear, "Don't get too close. My dad says he can melt metal with his hands." A girl chimed in, "My mom says he's got demons helping him." Like, real demons. Another kid snorted. "Nah, he's just cheating. My uncle says he's messing up the whole county's steel prices. That's why he's gonna get shut down." Sam kept walking, jaw tight. At recess, it got worse. A group of boys blocked his path near the swings. Their ringleader, a stocky kid named Travis, folded his arms. "So," Travis said, "you think you're better than everybody now? Riding around with old man Jacobs like you're some big boss." Sam blinked. "He's my manager." That only made them laugh harder. "Manager? You're not. You can't even spell manager." Another kid added, "My pastor says you're doing unnatural things. Says you're messing with forces you shouldn't." A third kid, trying to impress the others, jabbed a finger at Sam's chest. "My dad says you're gonna get people fired. Says you're making trouble for honest workers." Sam stepped back, stunned. I'm helping workers. I just provide the needed supplies." They didn't care. Kids rarely care about nuance. Travis shoved him lightly, not enough to get in trouble, but enough to make a point. "Stay away from us, bro. We don't want whatever you're doing rubbing off." Sam didn't shove back. He didn't say a word. He just walked away, fists clenched, ears burning. But the damage was done. By lunchtime, the whole school had a new nickname for him. Steel Boy. Some said it with awe. Most said it with mockery. A few said it with fear. And Sam realized something important. The adult world wasn't the only battlefield he'd have to survive. A parent demands Sam be removed from class. The next morning, the school office felt different. The secretary wasn't smiling. The principal kept glancing at the door like she was waiting for a tornado to walk in wearing shoes. And then it happened. The front door slammed open so hard the glass rattled. Mrs. Hargrove, a woman built like a linebacker and twice as loud, marched straight into the office with her son trailing behind her like a terrified duckling. "I want that Rowe boy out of my child's classroom," she barked. The secretary froze. "Mrs. Hargrove, please lower your—" "I will not lower my voice. My husband works at the foundry, and he says that boy is messing with things no child should be messing with. He says the union is covering for him. Covering for a 9-year-old. You tell me how that makes any sense." The principal stepped out of her office, trying to look calm. "Mrs. Hargrove, Sam is a student here just like any other." "No, he ain't," she snapped. "He's running some kind of metal-making operation. My pastor says it's unnatural. My husband says it's dangerous. And my boy," she grabbed her son's shoulders, spinning him forward, "my boy says that Sam threatened him with molten steel." The boy's eyes went wide. "Mama, I didn't." "Hush." The principal pinched the bridge of her nose. "Sam has not threatened anyone. He hasn't brought anything dangerous to school." Mrs. Hargrove leaned in, voice dropping to a hiss. "You don't know what he can bring. You don't know what he can do. Kids are scared. Parents are scared. And I will not have my child sitting next to some steel summoning prodigy. The secretary whispered, steel summoning. Mrs. Hargrove slammed her hand on the counter. Remove him from class. Today. Or I'm calling the school board. We will form a class action lawsuit if we have to. Meanwhile, Sam is sitting in class. He's quietly working on a math worksheet when the intercom crackles. Sam Rowe, please come to the office. Every head turns. Travis smirks. Told you. They're finally taking Steel Boy away. A few kids look worried. A few look thrilled. One girl crosses herself. Sam stands up in the office. When Sam walks in, Mrs. Hargrove spins around like she's seen a ghost. There he is. Look at him, he's calm as can be. That's not normal. Children aren't supposed to be that calm when grown folks are talking about them. Sam blinks. Ma'am. I'm just standing here. See, she shrieks. He talks like a grown man. That's not natural either. The principal steps between them. Mrs. Hargrove, please. Sam is not in trouble. He should be. He's disrupting the economy. Sam's eyebrows shoot up. What? Mrs. Hargrove jabs a finger at him. My husband says you're undercutting steel prices. Says you're messing with the whole supply chain. Says you're making the union too powerful. And now my boy is scared to come to school because he thinks you're gonna melt his desk. Sam looks at the principal helplessly. I don't even know how to melt a desk. The principal sighs. Mrs. Hargrove, Sam is staying in class. If you have concerns, you may take them up with the district office. Mrs. Hargrove sputters, furious. This isn't over. You'll see. That boy is trouble. Mark my words. She storms out, dragging her son behind her. The office falls silent. The principal turns to Sam, her expression softening. Sam. I'm sorry. People are scared of what they don't understand. Sam nods, but inside, something twists. Because he finally understands something too. The adults aren't just gossiping anymore. They're preparing for a fight. The school board meets. The school board schedules an emergency meeting about student safety. A teacher quietly warns Sam that more parents are complaining. A preacher organizes a protest outside the school. A sympathetic teacher becomes an unexpected ally. Sam starts to realize he needs a strategy to protect himself, not just his business. The boiling point, everyone corners Sam. The principal's office is packed. Mrs. Hargrove is there, arms crossed like she's guarding the gates of heaven. Mr. Dillard from the foundry is there, red-faced and sweating. Pastor Whitmore is there, clutching a Bible like it's a fire extinguisher. Two teachers hover in the back, whispering. Even the school counselor showed up, holding a clipboard she clearly grabbed just to look official. Sam stands in the middle of the room, backpack still on, lunchbox dangling from one hand. Everyone is talking at once. He's disrupting the economy. He's dabbling in unnatural forces. He's undercutting steel prices. He's a danger to the other children. He's being manipulated by the union. He's summoning metal out of thin air. My son says he threatened to melt his desk. My husband says he's part of a secret industrial conspiracy. My cousin says he's got spirits helping him. My neighbor says he's running a foundry out of his bedroom. The principal tries to restore order, but it's like trying to put out a wildfire with a teaspoon. Everyone, please. No one listens. The noise builds and builds until it feels like the walls are vibrating. And then Sam finally speaks. Sam's line that shatters the room. Are you all crazy? I am a kid. Silence. Instant. Total. Every adult freezes. Sam looks around at them, tired, annoyed, 9 years old and already done with everyone's nonsense. Nobody has that kind of power, he says. Not me. Not anybody. He drops his lunchbox on the chair beside him. The telephone tree is dreaming up fantasy. You all hear one thing, twist it, add a little spice, and suddenly I'm some kind of steel wizard burning down the entire country. He folds his arms. Don't you all have anything better to do? Are your lives really that boring? Mrs. Hargrove gasps like she's been slapped by the Holy Spirit. Pastor Whitmore clutches his Bible tighter. Mr. Dillard sputters, now see here. Sam cuts him off. I'm none. I sell metal. That's it. I'm not melting discs. I'm not summoning spirits. I'm not running a secret factory. I'm not destroying the economy. I'm just doing my job. Besides, I could say the very same thing about all of you. I could make up garbage just as good about you as you do about me. He looks at the principal. Can I go back to class now? I've got a spelling test. The principal, who has been trying not to smile, nods slowly. Yes, Sam. You may. Sam walks out, leaving a room full of adults staring at each other, suddenly aware of how ridiculous they sound. The union hears about the incident. The principal barely finishes writing up her incident report before the phone rings. It's the Steel Workers Union. Not a rep. Not a secretary. A regional director. Her face goes pale. Yes, sir, yes. He's safe. No, he wasn't harmed. Yes. Parents were involved. Yes. I understand. Yes. I'll expect your team tomorrow morning. She hangs up and just sits there, staring at the wall like she's trying to process the fact that a 9-year-old school discipline issue just triggered a union intervention. The next school morning, the union arrives. 3 union officials walk into the school like they're entering a boardroom. Suits. Briefcases. Clipboards. They introduce themselves with calm, professional smiles that somehow make everyone more nervous. The principal tries to greet them, but they're already scanning the hallway, assessing the environment like OSHA inspectors. We're here to ensure the safety and well-being of our asset, one of them says. Teachers freeze. Students stare. Rumors explode instantly. Why are the union people here? Are they taking Sam away? Is he in trouble? Is he getting a lawyer? Is he getting a bodyguard? The union reps request a private meeting with the principal, the counselor, and Sam. Inside the meeting, Sam sits in a chair that's too big for him, feet dangling, while the adults talk around him. The union reps are calm but firm. We understand there was an incident yesterday involving harassment, false accusations, and potential threats to our young contractor. The principal swallows. It was heated. We'd like to review your safety protocols. The counselor blinks. For a 4th grader. For a business partner, the rep corrects gently. Sam watches all of this with a sinking feeling. This isn't helping. This is making everything worse. Sam realizes the real problem. When the meeting ends, one of the union reps kneels beside him. Sam, we're here to protect you. You let us handle the adults. Sam nods, but inside, something clicks. Adults don't understand him. Kids don't understand him. The union understands the business, but not the social fallout. He's been focusing on production, making metal, fulfilling orders, keeping quality high. But that's not enough anymore. People are scared of him. People are inventing stories about him. People are reacting to the myth, not the boy. He needs a strategy. Not for steel. Not for contracts. Probably Sam's first strategic move. That afternoon, Sam walks next door and knocks on Mr. Jacobs's door again. The old man opens it, eyebrows raised. Back so soon? Sam takes a breath. Mr. Jacobs. I think I need a PR plan. Jacobs blinks. A what now? A way to get people to stop freaking out. A way to make them see I'm just a kid doing a job. Not a wizard. Not a threat. Not a demon. Not a foreign corporation. Jacobs leans against the door frame, impressed. Well, Sam, that's called managing your image. And you're right. You need it. Sam nods, jaw set. I can't keep letting the telephone tree tell my story. I need to tell it myself. Jacobs grins. Then let's get to work. The union sets the stage. The Steel Workers Union decides the situation has gotten out of hand. Parents are panicking. Preachers are preaching. Corporations are circling. Kids are bullying. And now the school incident has made it clear, if they don't control the narrative will control Sam. So the union arranges a small community meeting at the town hall. Nothing fancy, just folding chairs, a podium, and a room full of people who think they know everything. Union reps stand at the back like security. Local officials sit in the front row, sweating. Parents whisper. Kids fidget. Reporters from 2 counties over show up because the rumor mill has gone interstate. And then Sam walks in. 9 years old. Backpack still on. Shoes slightly dusty from the playground. The room goes silent. Sam's first public statement. He steps up to the podium, stands on a milk crate so he can reach the microphone, and clears his throat. Hi. I'm Sam Rowe, and I sell metal. A few people chuckle nervously. Sam continues. I heard a lot of you think I'm doing magic. Or breaking the law. Or ruining the economy. Or summoning demons. Or melting desks. Or running a secret factory. Or being controlled by the union. Or being controlled by a foreign government. Or being controlled by. I don't even know what else. He shrugs. I'm not doing any of that. He looks around the room, meeting eyes like a tiny CEO addressing shareholders. I'm just good at finding sources of metal. That's it. I'm not dangerous. I'm not special. I'm not a threat. I'm just a kid with a business skill. He pauses, then adds. And honestly, y'all need to calm down. Listen to what you are saying. Does any of it really make any sense? Sounds like something out of one of those supermarket tabloids, with the three-headed dog is going to eat the earth stories where we all are going to die. Foolishness. A ripple of laughter breaks the tension. Sam presses on. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here to help. The union pays me fair. I sell them good steel. People get good jobs. Prices go down. That lets them hire more people. The customers pay less for their products. Everybody wins. He leans closer to the mic. So please stop making up stories. I don't have superpowers. I don't have demons. I don't have a secret lab. I don't even have my own room really. I sleep in a bunk bed in the back room. The room laughs again, louder this time. Sam finishes with. If you want to know what I'm doing, just ask me. I'll tell you the truth. I don't need rumors. I don't need drama. I just need everyone to stop acting like I'm a cartoon character. He steps back from the podium. The room erupts in applause. Sam's rules for not freaking out the town. Tell people what I'm doing before they make up something weird. If I say it first, they can't twist it. Show them I'm just a kid. If they see me eating a PB&J, they'll stop thinking I'm running a steel empire. Make the union explain the boring parts. Adults love boring stuff. If they hear about contracts and supply chains, they'll fall asleep instead of panicking. The union reps stare at the list. One of them whispers, this kid just invented public relations. Jacobs grins. Brand management, son. You're doing it. Sam shrugs. I just don't want people yelling at me anymore. Reinforcing Sam's economic and political values. The meeting changes everything. Local officials realize Sam isn't a threat, he's an asset. Parents realize he's not a demon, he's a child. Business owners realize he's not a foreign corporation, he's a local supplier. The union realizes he's not just a contractor, he's a political advantage. Within a week, the county commissioner calls Sam a promising young entrepreneur. The union uses Sam as proof that their training programs empower the next generation. The foundry workers brag that their steel is RO enhanced. A state representative quietly asks for a tour of Sam's facility, not realizing it's just a shed behind his house for the time being. Sam has become something rare. A 9-year-old who is economically essential and politically untouchable. And he did it with a milk crate, a microphone, and 3 bullet points in a dinosaur notebook. The union hall reacts to the expansion wave. The union hall was louder than ever. Workers filled every seat, every aisle, every corner. The foreman stood at the podium, grinning ear to ear. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe is reinvesting almost everything he's got. That means more stations. More depots. More expansions. More upgrades. More hours. More paychecks. The hall erupted. One worker shouted. That boy's keeping the whole county fed. Another yelled. He's one of us. A third hollered. Now I can buy a boat. Sam blushed so hard he looked sunburned. I just want folks to work. The foreman laughed. Well, kid, you just guaranteed work for the next 3 years. The vendors realize Sam is expanding everywhere. The chip vendor, soda rep, bread man, candy supplier, and bottled water guy all met in the eastbound store. The chip vendor said, y'all here? Sam's building more stations. The soda rep nodded. And expanding the depots. The bread man grinned. And making the stores bigger. The candy rep laughed. And putting in them bright bulbs everywhere. The bottled water guy shook his head. That boy's reinvest in everything. He ain't keeping nothing for himself. The chip vendor smiled. That's why we love him. A competitor tries to understand Sam's strategy. Across town, the rival station owner slammed a newspaper on his desk. Expansion? More depots? More stations? How's he afford all this? His assistant shrugged. He reinvests everything. Keeps just enough to live on. The owner blinked. He's not even trying to get rich. No, sir. He's trying to build. The owner groaned. He is not getting personally rich, but he is building wealth. How do you compete with someone who doesn't care about money? The assistant sighed. You don't. Mama learns the truth. Mama sat at the kitchen table, folding laundry, when Sam walked in. Baby, I heard you're reinvesting almost all your money. Yes, ma'am. And building more stations. Yes, ma'am. And expanding the depots. Yes, ma'am. Mama put her hands on her hips. Sam Rowe, you are gonna work yourself into the ground. Sam shook his head. No, ma'am. I'm just keeping busy. Mama smiled softly. You're keeping the whole county busy. Sam looked down, shy. I'm just trying to help, Mama. She kissed his cheek. And you are, baby. You surely are, as a tear rolled down her cheek. Mr. Jacobs and Sam planned the next phase. Back in the office, Mr. Jacobs leaned over the map. Sam, if we build everything you're talking about, you'll have stations in every direction. Depots on both sides of town. Vendors lined up for miles. And the unions will worship the ground you walk on. Sam nodded. And my taxes will be low. Mr. Jacobs laughed. Son, your taxes will be lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut. Sam smiled. Good. Then I can build more. Mr. Jacobs shook his head, amazed. Sam, you're building a legacy. Sam just smiled. Sam builds the third station at the interchange. The interchange was a crossroads of life. Trucks, farm wagons, travelers, families, all funneling through a tangle of roads that met like the spokes of a wheel. Sam stood there with Mr. Jacobs, staring at the land. Lot of traffic, Sam said quietly. Mr. Jacobs nodded. More than both your other stations combined. Sam pointed. I want one station here, and another one over there. Eastbound and westbound again. And maybe a third one for the folks coming off the county road. Mr. Jacobs blinked. 3 stations. Yes, sir. Folks come from all directions. They need a place to stop. Mr. Jacobs laughed. Sam, you're building a triangle of convenience. Sam just stood there quietly looking. Sam expands into propane, butane, natural gas, and home heating oil. Back in the office, Sam spread out another set of plans. Mr. Jacobs. I've been thinking. Oh Lord, Jacobs muttered, smiling. What now? Sam pointed at a sketch. Folks use propane for cooking. Butane for heaters. Natural gas for their homes. I can make all that. Clean. Pure. No impurities. No leaks. No danger. Mr. Jacobs stared at him. You're talking about supplying half the region's energy. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. And the refineries can distribute it. Same deal as the gasoline. They keep their workers, they get a discount. Mr. Jacobs shook his head in awe. Sam, you're stabilizing the whole region. Sam looked down, shy. I just want folks warm in the winter. The unions form a protective ring around Sam. As the union hall was packed again. Standing room only. The foreman slammed his fist on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe is expanding into propane, butane, natural gas, fuel oil, and 3 new gas and grocery stations. That means more work than we've ever seen. The hall erupted. And now folks from outside the county are sniffing around, trying to get a piece of him. Boos filled the room. The foreman raised his hand. So here's what we're gonna do. We protect Sam. We protect his stations. We protect his depots. Anybody tries to mess with that boy, they answer to us. A roar shook the walls. Sam's one of us. Sam keeps us fed. We stand with Sam. Sam sat in the back, red-faced, overwhelmed. I ain't nobody special, he whispered. The foreman pointed at him. You're special to us. A refinery union leader visits Sam personally. A week later, a man in a refinery uniform, older, broad-shouldered, hands like sandpaper, walked into Sam's office. You Sam Rowe? Yes, sir. The man took off his cap. I'm the union rep for the refinery. Been there 30 years. I came to thank you. Sam blinked. For what? For keeping my men employed. For keeping the trucks running. For keeping the lights on in our homes. You saved us, son. Sam looked down, embarrassed. I just wanted y'all to keep your jobs. The man's voice cracked. You did more than that. You gave us hope. He shook Sam's hand, firm, grateful, then left. Mr. Jacobs watched, eyes soft. Sam, you're changing lives. Sam whispered. I'm just trying to help folks. A competitor tries to sabotage Sam and fails hilariously. Across town, the rival station owner paced his office. That kid's killing me. I need a plan. His assistant cleared his throat. Well, we could try undercutting his prices. We tried that. Folks still go to him. We could try better lighting. His bulbs don't even get hot. We could try. The owner snapped. I know. We'll block his driveway with a truck. That night, they parked a truck across the entrance of Sam's eastbound station. The next morning, the union showed up. Dozens of men. Hard hats. Jewel belts. Steel-toed boots. The foreman crossed his arms. You blocking Sam's station? The competitor gulped. Maybe. The foreman smiled coldly. Move it. The truck was gone in 3 minutes. The competitor never tried again. The government notices Sam's reinvestment strategy. A man in a suit from the state revenue office arrived at Mr. Jacobs' desk. Mr. Jacobs, we've been reviewing Mr. Rowe's filings. Mr. Jacobs stiffened. Is there a problem? The man flipped through papers. No. Quite the opposite. He reinvests almost everything. His taxable income is minimal. Mr. Jacobs nodded. That's right. The man frowned. He's building stations faster than we can track them. Depots. Expansions. Upgrades. He's stimulating the entire region. Mr. Jacobs smiled. That's Sam. The man shook his head. I've never seen anything like it. Sam creates a new type of cooler and heater. One night, Sam stood in the expanded eastbound store, staring at the coolers. They use too much electricity, he whispered. And the heaters in winter ain't efficient. He placed his hand on the cooler. A soft hum. A shimmer. Then, a new cooling unit formed inside. Silent. Cold. Perfect. No frost. No breakdowns. He moved to the heater. Another shimmer. A heater that warmed the store evenly, quietly, without burning near as much fuel or drying out the air. Just the right balance and just the right feel. Sam smiled. That'll. Mama visits the new depot. Mama stood in front of the expanded depot, massive tanks, clean loading docks, a warehouse full of vendor goods. Sam, this place is enormous. Yes, ma'am. And you built all this? Yes, ma'am. Mama put her hands on her hips. Baby, you're building something mighty big. Sam looked down, shy. Mama. Folks around here need somewhere to get quality products. I want to be the one that helps them. She hugged him tight. And you are, baby. You surely are. God love you. Sam meets with the local bank president. The bank president, a round man with gold-rimmed glasses, sat behind a polished desk, looking over Sam's paperwork. Well now, Mr. Rowe, you're asking for a loan. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Just a small one. The president raised an eyebrow. You don't need it. You've got more cash flow than half the businesses in this county. Sam shrugged. I just want to build credit. And look normal. The president blinked. Look, normal. Yes, sir. Folks get suspicious if you don't borrow nothing. The president stared at him for a long moment, then burst out laughing. Son, you're the strangest businessman I ever met. Sam looked down, embarrassed. I'm just trying to do things right. The president signed the papers. Well, you got your loan. And if you ever need more, you come see me. The credit union reacts the same way. At the local credit union, the manager, a sharp woman with a no-nonsense attitude, reviewed Sam's application. You want a loan? Yes, ma'am. You don't need one. No, ma'am. She leaned forward. Then why? Sam answered simply. I want to build credit. And look like everybody else. The manager stared at him. Son, most folks try to avoid debt. Sam nodded. Yes, ma'am. That's why I'm only borrowing a little. She shook her head, smiling. You're something else, Sam Rowe. Sam expands into the surrounding counties. Mr. Jacobs spread out a larger map, not just the county, but the whole region. Sam, you're talking about expanding into 3 more counties. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Folks need gas everywhere. And jobs. And good light. And room to walk around. Mr. Jacobs pointed to the map. Right here, County Line Road. That's a perfect spot. Sam nodded. And over here near the river crossing. Lots of traffic. Sam nodded again. And this one, near the cotton mill. Workers love it. Sam smiled. I want to build them all. Mr. Jacobs laughed until he cried. Of course you do. The Union Hall learns about the regional expansion. The Union Hall was louder than ever. Workers from surrounding counties had come to hear the news. The foreman slammed his clipboard on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe is expanding into 3 more counties. The hall erupted. More hours. More paychecks. More stations. Sam blushed bright red. I just want folks to work. The foreman grinned. Well, kid, you just guaranteed work for half the region. A surrounding county welcomes Sam. In the next county over, the mayor, a tall man with a booming voice, shook Sam's hand. Mr. Rowe, we've heard about your stations. Folks say they're clean, bright, safe, and union built. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. And you're thinking about building one here? Yes, sir. Maybe 2. The mayor grinned. Well, son, you're welcome here anytime. Sam smiled shyly. Thank you, sir. A competitor in the next county panics. Across the county line, a rival station owner slammed his fist on the counter. He's come in here now. His assistant nodded nervously. Yes, sir. And he's talking out loans. Looks normal as can be. The owner groaned. How do you compete with a kid who reinvests everything and doesn't care about profit? The assistant sighed. You don't. Scene, Mama learns about the multi-county expansion. Mama was shelling peas on the porch when Sam came home. Baby, I heard you're building stations in other counties now. Yes, ma'am. And talking out loans. Yes, ma'am. Mama raised an eyebrow. You don't need loans. No, ma'am. But it looks normal. Mama shook her head, smiling. Baby, you're building something mighty big. Sam looked down, shy. I'm just trying to help folks, Mama. She kissed his cheek and told him how much she loved him and how proud she was of him. Mr. Jacobs and Sam planned the regional network. Back in the office, Mr. Jacobs leaned over the map. Sam, if we build all these stations, you'll have a network stretching across 4 counties. Sam nodded. And my credit'll look normal. Mr. Jacobs laughed. Son, your credit'll be better than the governor's. Sam smiled. Good. Then I can build more. Mr. Jacobs shook his head, amazed. Sam, you're building a legacy. Sam whispered. I'm just trying to help. The regional expansion begins. Mr. Jacobs unrolled a map that stretched across the entire desk 4 counties wide. Sam, you're talking about expanding into all this. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Folks need gas everywhere. And jobs. And good light. And room to walk around. Mr. Jacobs tapped the map. Well, this here's County Line Road. Perfect spot. Sam nodded. And this one, near the river crossing. Lots of traffic. Sam nodded again. And this one, near the cotton mill. Workers love it. Sam smiled. I want to build them all. Mr. Jacobs laughed. Of course you do, he said with a laugh and a smile. Sam takes out small loans at a different bank. The bank president leaned back in his chair, baffled. Mr. Rowe, you're asking for a loan. Yes, sir. You don't need one. No, sir. The president blinked. Then why? Sam answered simply. I want to build credit. And look normal. The president stared at him, then burst out laughing. Son, you're the most credit-worthy businessman I ever met. Sam looked down, embarrassed. I'm just trying to do things right. The president signed the papers. Well, you got your loan. And if you ever need more, you come see me. The second credit union Sam applied to has the same reaction. The credit union manager reviewed Sam's application. You want a loan? Yes, ma'am. You don't need one. No, ma'am. She leaned forward. Then why? Sam shrugged. Folks get suspicious if you don't borrow nothing, doc. She stared at him. Son, most folks try to avoid debt. Sam nodded. Yes, ma'am. That's why I'm only borrowing a little. She shook her head, smiling. You're something else, Sam Rowe. The Union Hall reacts to the multi-county expansion. The Union Hall was packed. Workers from 3 counties squeezed shoulder to shoulder. The foreman slammed his clipboard on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe is expanding into the next counties. The hall erupted. More hours. More paychecks. More stations. Sam blushed bright red. I just want folks to work. The foreman grinned. Well, kid, you just guaranteed work for half the region. The first surrounding county welcomes Sam. The mayor of the next county, a tall man with a booming voice, shook Sam's hand. Mr. Rowe, we've heard about your stations. Folks say they're clean, bright, safe, and union built. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. And you're thinking about building one here? Yes, sir. Maybe 2. The mayor grinned. Well, son, you're welcome here anytime. Sam smiled shyly. Thank you, sir. A competitor in the next county panics. Across the county line, a rival station owner slammed his fist on the counter. He's come in here now. His assistant nodded nervously. Yes, sir. And he's talking out loans. Looks normal as can be. The owner groaned. How do you compete with a kid who reinvests everything and doesn't care about personal profit? The assistant sighed. You don't. Mama learns about the multi-county expansion. Mama was shelling peas on the porch when Sam came home. Baby, I heard you're building stations in other counties now. Yes, ma'am. And talking out loans. Yes, ma'am. Mama raised an eyebrow. You don't need loans. No, ma'am. But it looks normal. Mama shook her head, smiling. Baby, you're building something mighty big. Sam looked down, shy. I'm just trying to help folks, Mama. She kissed his cheek. And you are, baby. You surely are. Sam's big idea, let's get the vendors rolling. Sam stood in the depot yard, watching the propane and natural gas trucks roll out. Drivers waved. Union welders cheered. Everything was humming like a well-oiled machine. But Sam noticed something. Vendors, the bread man, the soda rep, the chip vendor, the candy supplier, were still arriving in old, beat-up trucks. Some rattled. Some smoked. Some barely made it up the hill. Sam frowned. Mr. Jacobs, they're working hard. But their trucks ain't. Mr. Jacobs nodded. Most of them can't afford new rigs, Sam. Times are tough. Sam thought for a moment. Then his eyes lit up. Oh my goodness. I know what to do. Sam calls a meeting with all the vendors. The eastbound station's expanded store was packed. Vendors filled every aisle, bread men, soda reps, candy suppliers, bottled water guys, snack distributors, even the ice cream man. Mr. Jacobs cleared his throat. All right, folks. Sam's got something to say. Sam stepped forward, hat in hand. I've been watching y'all come in. Some of your trucks are old. Some are breaking down. Some ain't safe. And I don't want nobody getting hurt. The vendors exchanged nervous glances. Sam continued. So, I'm gonna fix it. The bread man blinked. Fix what, Sam? Sam smiled shyly. I'm gonna send each of y'all a brand new delivery truck. Union built. Strong. Reliable. And I'm selling them to you at a deep discount. Just enough to cover the steel and the labor. The room went silent. Then exploded. You're giving us trucks. Brand new rigs. At cost. Sam, you're an angel. Sam blushed. I ain't no angel. I just want y'all to have what you need. The Union Hall reacts. The foreman slammed his clipboard on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe just ordered a whole fleet of delivery trucks, union built, for every vendor he works with. The hall erupted. That's our boy. God love him. The truck factory comes alive. Sam and Mr. Jacobs toured the Union truck plant. A massive building filled with welders, machinists, painters, and mechanics. The plant manager shook Sam's hand. Son, you just gave us the biggest order we've had in 10 years. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Vendors need good trucks. And y'all need work. The manager laughed. You're something else, Sam Rowe. Sam shrugged. I just want folks safe on the road. The first vendor gets his new rig. The bread man stood in the depot yard, staring at the gleaming delivery truck with his company's name painted on the side. He touched the door like it was made of gold. Sam. I ain't never had nothing this nice. Sam smiled. You deserve it. You work hard. The bread man wiped his eyes. Son, you don't know what this means to my family. Sam looked down, shy. I just want y'all to be okay. Mama learns about the trucks. Mama was folding laundry when Sam walked in. Baby, I heard you are giving trucks to the vendors. Yes, ma'am. Brand new ones. Yes, ma'am. Mama put her hands on her hips. Sam Rowe, you're gonna give away everything you got. Sam shook his head. No, ma'am. I'm reinvesting. And the unions are working. And the vendors are happy. And I am selling them at cost, and I am financing them at no interest. Mama smiled softly. You're building some kind of empire, Sam. Sam looked down, shy. Mama, you know that I'm just trying to help everyone connected to me. She kissed his cheek. And you are, baby. You surely are. A brand new Sam Rowe Grocery and Fuel opens. The new store was enormous, bigger than anything the region had ever seen. Wide aisles. Bright lights. Cool air. Fresh produce. Dry goods. Canned goods. Meat counters. Bread racks. Bulk staples. Household supplies. The bread man walked in and froze. Sam, this ain't a convenience store. The soda rep nodded. This is a grocery store. The chip vendor laughed. This is a supermarket. Sam looked around. Is it big enough? Do we need more room? I just wanted folks to have everything they need in one place. Mr. Jacobs clapped him on the back. Son, you just built the first full-service grocery store in 4 counties. The Union Hall reacts to the grocery expansion. The foreman slammed his clipboard on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe ain't just building gas stations no more. He's building grocery stores. The hall erupted. More hours. More paychecks. The foreman grinned. And Sam is making sure they do. The vendors celebrate the new grocery layout. The vendors walked the aisles like kings. The bread man whistled. I got a whole wall. The soda rep grinned. I got 2 cooler doors. The candy supplier laughed. I got an end cap. The chip vendor slapped Sam on the back. Kid, you just made us all rich. Sam shook his head. I just wanted y'all to have room. Mama visits the first grocery store. Mama walked through the automatic doors, the first she'd ever seen, and stopped dead in her tracks. Sam, this place is huge. Yes, ma'am. And bright. Yes, ma'am. And cool. Yes, ma'am. Mama put her hands on her hips. Baby, you built a whole grocery store. Sam looked around and said, I hope it's big enough. I just wanted folks to have what they need. Mama hugged him tight. And you gave it to them. Baby. You surely did. His mom began to cry, tears of joy and happiness. Mr. Jacobs and Sam planned the next phase. Back in the office, Mr. Jacobs leaned over the map. Sam, you've got grocery stores in 3 counties. Fuel depots in 2. Gas trucks run in everywhere. Vendors with new rigs. And your credit score is higher than the courthouse clock tower. Sam nodded. And my taxes will stay low. Mr. Jacobs laughed. Son, your taxes will be lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut in quicksand. Sam smiled. Good. Then I can build more. Mr. Jacobs shook his head, amazed. Sam, you're building a legacy. No, an empire. Sam whispered. I'm just trying to keep people working. Yeah, no. Sam notices a new need. Sam stood in one of his new grocery fuel centers, watching customers come and go. Farmers. Carpenters. Mechanics. Families. Vendors. Everyone needed something. A farmer walked past carrying a broken shovel handle. A carpenter asked the clerk if they sold nails. A mechanic asked if they had motor oil. A mother asked if they had paint. Sam blinked. Oh my goodness. Mr. Jacobs turned. What now, Sam? Sam pointed around the store. Folks need tools. lumber, hardware, paint, supplies, everything. And they're driving all over creation to get it. Mr. Jacobs nodded slowly. You're right. Closest hardware store is 20 miles away. Sam took a breath. I want to build a store for all that. Big. Real big. Like a warehouse. But clean. Bright. Organized. With everything folks need to fix their homes, their barns, their cars, their farms. Mr. Jacobs stared at him. Sam, you're talking about building the biggest hardware store this region's ever seen. Sam shrugged. I just want folks to have what they need. The Union Hall learns about the hardware expansion. The Union Hall was packed again. Carpenters, electricians, plumbers, masons, steel workers, welders, machinists, truck drivers, all buzzing with excitement. The foreman slammed his clipboard on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe is building a new kind of store, bigger than any hardware shop you ever seen. The hall erupted. More hours. More paychecks. I can fix up the house now for my wife and kids, said one worker. The foreman grinned. And Sam is making sure they do. Designing the 1935 Rowe Hardware and Supply. Sam and Mr. Jacobs stood in an empty field, looking at the blueprints spread across the hood of the truck. The plans showed a massive warehouse-style building, wide aisles for lumber carts, a tool section, a paint mixing counter, plumbing and electrical aisles, farm equipment, building materials stacked to the ceiling, a loading dock for 8-wheelers. Bright, cool, Sam made light bulbs everywhere. Mr. Jacobs whistled. Sam, this is a whole new kind of store. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Folks need tools, supplies, lumber, hardware, everything. Mr. Jacobs laughed. You're building a one-stop shop for the whole region. Sam looked down, shy. I just want folks to fix their homes. The first, Rowe Hardware and Supply, opens. The grand opening drew a crowd bigger than any Sam had ever seen. Farmers stared at the lumber racks. Carpenters marveled at the tool wall. Mechanics admired the rows of oil, belts, and parts. Mothers pointed at the paint colors. All of Sam's vendors wanted to see what he had done now. And then, vendors walked the aisles like they were in heaven. The bread man said, Sam, this place is enormous. The soda rep nodded. And bright. The chip vendor laughed. And organized. Sam smiled. I just wanted y'all to have what you need. The government takes notice. A man from the State Commerce Office visited Mr. Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs, we've been reviewing Mr. Rowe's filings. Mr. Jacobs stiffened. Is there a problem? The man shook his head. No. Quite the opposite. He's reinvesting almost everything. He's building grocery stores, fuel depots, gas stations, and now hardware warehouses. He's employed half the region. Mr. Jacobs smiled. That's Sam. The man sighed. I've never seen anything like it. Mama visits the hardware store. Mama walked through the giant warehouse, eyes wide. Sam, this place is huge. Yes, ma'am. And bright. Yes, ma'am. And clean. Yes, ma'am. Mama put her hands on her hips. Baby, you built a whole hardware store. Sam looked up and smiled. I just wanted folks to have what they need. Mama hugged him tight. And you gave it to him, baby. But, I am so worried about you. My boy is just growing up way too fast. Mr. Jacobs and Sam planned the next phase. Back in the office, Mr. Jacobs leaned over the map. Sam, you've got grocery stores, fuel stations, depots, gas trucks, vendor rigs, and now hardware warehouses. You're building a whole regional economy. Sam nodded. And my loans will look normal. Mr. Jacobs laughed. Son, your credit score is higher than the courthouse clock tower. Sam smiled. Good. Then I can build more. Mr. Jacobs shook his head, amazed. Sam, you're beyond any person I have ever met. Sam whispered. This here depression got everybody down. We are trying to get out there and give it a swift kick to get it started up. Sam notices the concrete problem. Sam stood at one of his new hardware grocery fuel centers, watching a crew pour concrete for an expanded loading dock. The foreman cursed under his breath. This mix ain't right. Too sandy. Too weak. We'll have to redo it. Sam blinked. Oh my goodness. Mr. Jacobs turned. What now, Sam? Sam pointed at the concrete truck. They're bringing bad concrete. And it's slow. And it's expensive. And it ain't strong enough. Mr. Jacobs nodded. That's how concrete is, Sam. Sam shook his head. It don't gotta be. Sam announces his next expansion. Sam gathered the union foreman, the vendors, and Mr. Jacobs in the depot yard. I want to build my own cement and concrete plants. Big ones. Real big. I'll make the cement. I'll make the concrete. I'll make the trucks. I'll make the mixers. And I'll hire all union labor to run it. The foreman stared at him. You're talking about building a whole construction supply industry. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Folks need strong concrete. And fast deliveries. And good jobs. The hall erupted. Someone in the back jokingly yelled, "Free beer." The laughs roared throughout the union hall. The first cement plant blueprint. Sam and Mr. Jacobs stood over a massive blueprint spread across the hood of a truck. The plans showed a rotary kiln for cement production, a grinding mill for limestone and clay, a mixing plant for concrete, a fleet of Sam-made concrete trucks, a union-built warehouse for forms, rebar, and aggregates, a rail spur for bulk shipments. Bright, cool Sam bulbs lighting the whole facility. Mr. Jacobs whistled. Sam, this is a whole industry. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. And the unions will run it. The union hall reacts to the cement announcement. The foreman slammed his clipboard on the podium. All right, listen up. Sam Rowe is building cement plants. The hall exploded. Cement. Concrete. Trucks. Mixers. More jobs. More hours. Building the cement plant. Union workers swarmed the construction site. Steel workers erected the frame. Masons laid the brick. Electricians wired the kilns. Welders built the mixers. Machinists assembled the trucks. Carpenters built the offices. Drivers hauled in limestone and clay. The foreman clapped Sam on the back. Kid, you just gave half the region a year's worth of work. Sam smiled shyly. I just want folks to have what they need. The first Sam brand concrete truck rolls out. The truck was enormous, a gleaming 1935 era mixer with Sam's brand on the side. The driver climbed into the cab. Mr. Rowe, this thing's a beauty. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Strong steel. Good engine. Mixer won't jam. Drum won't crack. And it's safe. The driver grinned. Well, let's go pour some concrete. The first delivery stronger than anything else. A construction crew waited at a job site, skeptical. Sam's concrete. Huh? We'll see. The driver poured the mix. Smooth. Even. Perfect consistency. No grit. No lumps. No separation. The foreman touched it. Well, this is the best concrete I ever seen. Sam smiled. I just wanted it strong. Mama visits the cement plant. Mama stood in front of the massive facility, hands on her hips. Sam, this place is enormous. Yes, ma'am. And loud. Yes, ma'am. And busy. Yes, ma'am. Mama smiled softly. Baby, you built a whole cement factory. But why? Aren't you doing enough already? Mama, the concrete they poured on my first store, it was poor, poor, poor. I couldn't stand for that poor excuse for concrete. I had to have something a lot better. Other people need a lot better. I just wanted folks to have strong concrete. Mama hugged him. And you gave it to him, baby. You surely did. A tear rolled down her cheek. Son, I am so proud of you. I love you, you know that, don't you? Yes, Mama, I did. 6 months later, the region has changed. The landscape across 4 counties looked different now. Sam's grocery fuel centers. Sam's hardware warehouses. Sam's gas depots. Sam's vendor fleets. Sam's concrete plants. Sam's manufacturing shops. Everywhere you looked, something was being built, delivered, repaired, or improved, and Sam's fingerprints were on all of it. But Sam wasn't done. Not even close. Sam realizes the next bottleneck. We're waiting on cement again. Sam stood at a construction site where a new grocery hardware center was going up. The foreman kicked the dirt. Sam, we're waiting on cement again. The other suppliers can't keep up. Sam blinked. Oh my goodness. Mr. Jacobs sighed, smiling. What now, Sam? Sam pointed at the half-finished foundation. We need more cement, more concrete, more trucks, more mixers, more everything. Mr. Jacobs nodded. You already built one plant. Sam shook his head. It ain't enough. Folks are building everywhere. They need more. Sam announces the cement expansion. Sam gathered the union foremen, the plant managers, and the vendors. I want to build more cement plants. One in each county. And I want to make all the trucks. All the mixers. All the forms. All the rebar. Everything. The foreman stared at him. You're talking about building the whole construction industry from scratch. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. And I want all union labor to build it. And all union workers to run it. The Sam Brand Cement Complex. 6 months later, the second Sam Brand Cement and Concrete Complex opened. It had a limestone yard, the largest in the country, a rotary kiln, a grinding mill, a mixing plant, a rebar forge, a form-making shop, a truck assembly line, a mixer drum factory, a rail spur, a loading dock, a union cafeteria, a training center. The plant manager shook Sam's hand. Son, you just built the biggest industrial complex this region's ever seen. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Folks need strong concrete. Sam Brand trucks roll out. The first fleet of Sam Brand concrete trucks rolled out of the assembly line. Stronger steel. Better engines. Mixers that never jam. Drums that never crack. Safety valves. Cool, bright Sam bulbs inside the cabs. Drivers lined up to get their assignments. One driver grinned. Mr. Rowe, this truck's nicer than my house. Sam blushed. I just wanted y'all safe. The region's construction boomed. Within weeks, Sam's concrete plants were supplying roads, bridges, schools, barns, houses, stores, warehouses, depots, foundations for new industries. Everywhere you looked, something was being built. And every bag of cement, every yard of concrete, every truckload of rebar had one name on it. Sam Rowe Brand. Mama visits the new cement complex. Mama stood in front of the massive facility, hands on her hips. Sam, this place is enormous. Just like the other one, only this one is bigger, and it is connected to the railroad. Yes, ma'am. And loud. Yes, ma'am. And busy. Yes, ma'am. Mama smiled softly. Baby, you built a whole cement empire. You are doing so much. And I am so worried about you, baby boy. Sam looked down, shy. I just wanted folks to have strong concrete. Mama hugged him. You have, baby. You worry me though. It is so much for a little boy your age. Mr. Jacobs and Sam planned the next phase. Back in the office, Mr. Jacobs leaned over the map. Sam, you've got grocery stores, hardware warehouses, fuel stations, depots, gas trucks, vendor rigs, manufacturing plants, and now cement complexes. You're building the whole region from the ground up. Sam nodded. Sam Brand bricks. If nobody makes them right, I will. Sam walked through one of his construction sites and picked up a brick from a pallet. It crumbled slightly in his hand. He frowned. Oh my goodness. Mr. Jacobs sighed, smiling. What now, Sam? Sam held up the brick. These ain't strong enough. They chip. They crack. They ain't fired right. Folks deserve better. Mr. Jacobs nodded. Brick makers are stretched thin. They can't keep up with your building pace. Sam took a breath. Then I'll make my own bricks. Strong ones. Straight ones. Ones that don't break. The Sam Brand brick works. 6 months later, a new factory stood beside the cement complex. Massive kilns. Clay grinders. Mold presses. Drying sheds. Union masons overseeing quality. Sam Brand stamps on every brick. The plant manager held up a finished brick. Sam, this thing's perfect. Straight edges. No cracks. Hard as stone. Sam nodded. Yes, sir. Folks need strong walls. Sam Brand asphalt plants, folks, you know. Roads, ought to last. With concrete booming, Sam noticed another problem. The roads were falling apart. Trucks hauling groceries, hardware, cement, and gas were wearing down the old county roads faster than they could be patched. Sam stood on a cracked stretch of highway. These roads ain't holding up. Mr. Jacobs nodded. County can't afford to repave everything. Sam blinked. Oh my goodness. I know what to do. Mr. Jacobs started laughing. A tear ran down his cheek. Of course you do, my boy. Of course you do. The asphalt plant announcement. Sam gathered the union foreman. I want to build asphalt plants. Good ones. Hot mix. Strong. Smooth. And I want to pave the roads myself. Every county road. Every farm road. Every highway. The first Sam Brand road. The first stretch of Sam paved road was so smooth that farmers joked you could roll a marble from one end to the other. A truck driver grinned. Mr. Rowe, this is the best road I ever drove on. Sam smiled. I just wanted it to last. Sam forms a regional construction company. With cement, concrete, bricks, asphalt, hardware, lumber, and tools all under his umbrella, Sam realized something. He didn't need to hire outside contractors anymore. He could build anything. The birth of Rowe Construction. Sam stood in front of a new office building with a simple sign. Rowe Regional Construction. Union built, union run. Mr. Jacobs looked at the paperwork. Sam, this makes you the biggest construction company in 4 counties. Sam shook his head. No, sir. It makes the unions the biggest construction company. I'm just helping. The foreman grinned. Kid, you just guaranteed work for the next decade. Rowe Construction's first project. A new school. A new hospital wing. A new bridge. A new depot. All built with Sam Brand bricks. Sam Brand concrete. Sam Brand asphalt. Sam Brand tools. Sam Brand trucks. Union labor. The county commissioners were speechless. One whispered, this boy's building the future. Sam borrows some money and purchases 4 more railroads. Sam surveys all of the railroads that have gone bust. Sam and Mr. Jacobs walk the failing line at sunrise. The rails are warped, the ties splintered, the ballast washed out. Mr. Jacobs, most folks say it's too far gone, Sam. Sam, most folks ain't looking at it right. Mr. Jacobs, and how do you see it? Sam kneels, runs his hand along the rusted rail. Sam, I see what it could be, not what it is. This moment shows Sam's vision. It is the thing that separates him from everyone else. The railroad boardroom shock. The board members whisper as Sam enters with Mr. Jacobs. Board chairman, son, this railroad is a money pit. Sam, yes, sir. But it's also a lifeline. Board member, to who? Sam, to everybody who needs to get something somewhere. A beat of silence. Sam, let me buy it. I'll make it run again. This gives Sam purpose. It will not bring him profit as of yet, but service. The profit will come later. The railroad union hall turns quiet. The workers expect a joke, a stunt, a publicity trick. Instead, Sam stands on a wooden crate so they can see him. Everybody laughs. It's a joke. Has to be a joke. It's a kid. Some of the union workers walk out. Sam, I ain't here to fire nobody. Murmurs ripple. Sam, I'm here to put y'all back to work. The union rep steps forward. Union rep, you're serious. Sam, yes, sir. Dead serious. Union rep, and you'll honor the contracts. Sam, every one of them. A long pause. Then applause, slow at first, then thunderous. This is where Sam begins to earning respect the right way. He is rebuilding the line. Workers watch Sam climb into the cab of a half-repaired locomotive. Engineer, careful, son, she ain't ready yet. Sam, I will be replacing all of the engines in cars. No exceptions. Engineer, you really think we can save the line? Sam, yes, sir. This shows Sam's boldness. He doesn't patch things, he rebuilds them or replaces them. The first train runs. The diesel engine runs at idle speed. The whistle blows. Workers line the platform. Engineer, Mr. Rowe, what have you given us? Sam, it's a diesel engine and an electric drivetrain, and not only that, she is new. He looks down the shining track. Sam, folks deserve a way to get where they're going. This is Sam's mission statement to the world. Mama comes to the station. Mama states that it is all so beautiful. Mama, Sam, baby, this is a railroad. Sam, yes ma'am. Mama, and you fixed it. Sam, yes ma'am. Mama, and hired all the men back. Sam, yes ma'am. She touches his cheek. Mama, you're just a boy. Sam, maybe so, but the problems ain't waiting for me to grow up. She pulls him close. Mama, what are you thinking, Sam? Sam looks up, eyes steady. Sam, I'm thinking I'm gonna buy the other 3 railroads. They all failed, but I won't. A newspaper headline, Boy Wonder Revives Railroad, the entire region is saved. A banker asking Sam how he plans to buy the next 3 lines. A rival railroad owner underestimating him. Mr. Jacobs warning Sam about growing too fast, debit is starting to build. Mama praying he doesn't lose himself in all this responsibility. Sam walking the tracks alone at night, thinking about the future. Sam's expansion begins. Sam has revived 1 railroad, now the world starts noticing. All new engines, cars, and track. Perfect. Too perfect. The morning after the first train runs, the newspaper hits the streets. Headline, Sam Rowe saves railroad, trains run again. Vendors awaiting opportunity to ship once again. Mr. Jacobs bursts into Sam's workshop. Mr. Jacobs, Sam. You made the front page. Sam, yes sir, but that ain't the goal. Mr. Jacobs, then what is? Sam wipes grease from his hands. Sam, buying the next one. This shows Sam's focus. He's not chasing fame, he's chasing solutions. The banker's office. Sam sits across from Mr. Whitaker, the regional bank president. The man peers over his glasses. Mr. Whitaker, son, you just bought another railroad. Now you want 3 more in all. Sam, yes sir. Mr. Whitaker, they're all bankrupt. Sam, yes sir. Mr. Whitaker, and how do you plan to pay for them? Sam slides a stack of ledgers across the desk. Sam, with the profits from the one I just fixed. Whitaker flips through the numbers, eyebrows rising. Mr. Whitaker, these figures, they can't be right. Sam, yes sir. They are. Sam's intelligence and credibility is now growing. Inspecting the next railroad. Sam and Mr. Jacobs ride a handcar down a broken, overgrown line. Mr. Jacobs, this one's worse than the last. Sam, good. Mr. Jacobs, good. Sam, means nobody else wants it. Makes it cheaper. Jacobs laughs despite himself. Mr. Jacobs, you're growing too fast, too much debt, Sam. Sam, no sir. I just see what's possible. Sam's strategic mind sees opportunity where others see ruin. Downtown, a rival railroad owner suddenly appears on the scene. Mr. Harlan, owner of a competing line, corners Sam outside the courthouse. Harlan, boy, you're meddling in grown men's business. Sam, no sir. I'm fixin' what y'all let fall apart. Harlan steps closer. Harlan, you think you can run 5 railroads? Sam, no sir. Harlan smirks. Harlan, didn't think so. Sam, I can run 10. Sam showing a spark of defiance, still polite, but unshakably confident. Harlan draws a fist, then thinks better of the situation, and walks away cussing and cursing. The union's reaction to Sam's expansion. The union hall is packed again. Union rep, Mr. Rowe, is it true you're buying more lines? Sam, yes sir. Union rep, and you'll keep them union. Sam, everyone. A brakeman stands up. Brakeman, why are you doing all this, son? Sam looks around the room. Sam, because folks need work. And folks need trains to expand their businesses. Silence. Then applause, louder than before. Sam is now earning loyalty, not demanding it. Political attention. A state senator arrives at Sam's office. Senator, young man, the governor wants to know how you're doing this. Sam, hard work, sir. Senator, and money. Lots of it. Sam, money don't fix nothing by itself. People do. The senator studies him. Senator, so, you're planning on changing this state? Sam, no sir. Business people will. I'm just helping them get there. Mama's concern deepens. Mama sits on the porch, sewing, when Sam comes home late again. Mama, baby, you're running yourself ragged. Sam, can't stop now, Mama. Mama, you're 16 years old. You got school and too many businesses running at once. Sam, yes ma'am. But the problems ain't waiting for me to turn 21. She sets her sewing down. Mama, Sam, what are you trying to build? Sam looks out toward the horizon. Sam, a future where no American gets left behind. His mother realizes that this grounds Sam emotionally, ambition with heart. But it scares her. The vision expands. Sam stands on a hill overlooking the valley, 5 railroads stretching like veins across the land. Mr. Jacobs joins him. Mr. Jacobs, what do you see, Sam? Sam, connections. Mr. Jacobs, between what? Sam, between everybody. This is Sam's mission distilled into one word, connection. Sam at his breaking point. The weight of 5 railroads, school, and family begins to crush him. Late nights at the kitchen table. Sam sits at the kitchen table surrounded by school books, railroad ledgers, maps, union reports, invoices, homework he hasn't touched. Mama walks in quietly. Mama, baby, it's near midnight. Sam, I know, Mama. I just gotta finish these numbers. Mama, Sam, you're falling asleep sitting up. Sam, I can't stop. If I stop, something breaks. She puts a gentle hand on his shoulder. Mama, sweetheart, you are what's breaking. Sam doesn't answer. He just keeps writing. School starts slipping. Sam nods off in class. His teacher, Mrs. Whitfield, taps his desk. Mrs. Whitfield, Sam Rowe, you're one of my brightest students. But you're falling behind. Sam, yes ma'am. I'm sorry. Mrs. Whitfield, are you sick? Sam, no ma'am. Mrs. Whitfield, then what's wrong? Sam hesitates. Sam, everything. This is the first time Sam admits it out loud. Even the union notices. Mr. Jacobs and the union managers gather in Sam's office. Papers are stacked everywhere. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, you look worn thin. Sam, I'm fine. Union manager, no, son. You ain't. Sam, there's just a lot to do. Mr. Jacobs, that's why you got us. Sam, but I'm the owner. I gotta make sure it's right. Mr. Jacobs, you can't run 5 railroads by yourself. Not even a grown man could. Sam's hands tremble slightly as he picks up another ledger. Mom steps in. Evelyn finds Sam asleep at his desk, pencil still in hand. She kneels beside him. Mom, Sam, sweetheart, you're scaring me. He wakes with a start. Sam, I'm okay. Mom, no, you're not. You're carrying too much. Sam, I gotta provide. For you. For Helen. For everybody. Mom, you don't have to do it alone. She lifts his chin so he has to look at her. Mom, let people help you. Sam's eyes fill, not with tears, but with exhaustion. The governor calls. A letter arrives from the state capitol. Letter. Mr. Rowe. Your rapid expansion has drawn statewide attention. We request a meeting to discuss regulation, safety, and oversight. Sam reads it twice. Sam, great, now the whole state wants something from me. He rubs his forehead. Sam, I'm just a kid. This is the moment he realizes he's in deeper than he ever imagined. Sam breaks down, quietly. Sam walks the tracks alone at dusk. The sky is purple. The rails stretch endlessly. He whispers to himself. I can't keep up. I can't do all this. For the first time, Sam admits the truth, not to Mama, not to Mom, not to Mr. Jacobs, but to himself. Sam learns to delegate. He appoints a superintendent for each railroad, a chief engineer, a financial officer, a safety director. This shows growth. Sam creates a central office, a headquarters where all 5 railroads coordinate. Sam faces political pressure, regulations, inspections, taxes, and oversight. Sam's mom becomes his anchor. His mama helped him find balance. The weight of 5 railroads. Sam is now the owner of 5 railroads. Even with Mr. Jacobs, union managers, and entire crews running the day-to-day, the decisions still land on Sam's desk. What's on his plate? School every morning. Homework every night. 5 railroads. Steel mills. Foundry operations. Concrete plants. Asphalt plants. Tool manufacturing. Payroll approvals. Safety reports. Union contracts. Track inspections. He's a child in a grown man's world. Late nights at the kitchen table. Sam sits surrounded by ledgers, maps, and homework. His pencil shakes from exhaustion. Mama, baby, it's past midnight. Sam, I know, Mama. I just gotta finish these reports. Mama, Sam, you're falling asleep sitting up. Sam, if I stop, something breaks. Mama, sweetheart, you're what's breaking. Sam doesn't argue. He just keeps writing. School starts slipping. Sam nods off in class. Mrs. Whitfield taps his desk gently. MRS Whitfield, Sam bro, you're one of my brightest. But you're falling behind. Sam, yes ma'am. I'm sorry. MRS Whitfield, are you sick? Sam, no ma'am. MRS Whitfield, then what's wrong? Sam hesitates. Sam, everything. This is the first time he admits it out loud. Sam sits at his desk staring at his report card. 2 grades have slipped. Not failing but slipping. For Sam, that's enough to sound the alarm. He closes the folder and walks straight to Mr. Jacobs' office. Sam talks to Mr. Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs is sorting through stacks of paperwork when Sam walks in. Sam, Mr. Jacobs, can we talk? Mr. Jacobs, course we can, son. What's on your mind? Sam hesitates, then hands him the report card. Sam, my schoolwork's fallen down. I gotta fix it. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, you're running 5 railroads and half a dozen factories. I'm surprised you're passing it all. Sam, school's mandatory. And Mama says I ain't allowed to quit. Mr. Jacobs, smiles Mama's right. Sam, I need help. Real help. Assistant managers. Folks who know what they're doing. Mr. Jacobs, you're asking to hire more staff. Sam, yes sir. I can't do all this and still be a kid. Mr. Jacobs leans back, studying him with pride. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, that's the smartest thing you've said all year. Hiring the new assistant managers. Mr. Jacobs gets to work immediately. He visits the local college and interviews the top graduates, young men and women with high marks in accounting, engineering, logistics, business, mechanical sciences. He returns with a list. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, I found some sharp folks. Best in their class. Sam, hire 'em. Mr. Jacobs, all of them. Sam, yes sir. Everyone. We got plenty of work. Dividing the work. Each new assistant manager is assigned a section of Sam's growing empire. Railroad operations manager oversees daily train schedules. Track and infrastructure manager handles repairs and inspections. Mechanical manager supervises engine shops and roundhouses. Freight and logistics manager coordinates shipments. Finance and bookkeeping team handles payroll, ledgers, and bills. Mr. Jacobs now manages the managers instead of drowning in paperwork. Sam's grades improve. With the new structure in place, Sam gets home earlier. He finishes homework before dark. He sleeps more. His grades rise back to the top. Mrs. Whitfield notices immediately. MRS Whitfield, Sam Rowe, you're looking brighter these days. Sam, yes ma'am. I got some help. MRS Whitfield, smart boy. Sam still fixes what only he can fix. Even with the new managers, Sam remains the heart of the operation. Whenever something breaks, a locomotive, a switch, a generator, a bridge beam, Sam walks up, touches it, and it becomes new again. The workers whisper. Worker, how does he do that? Engineer, don't question it. Just be glad he can. Sam doesn't brag. He just smiles and says, Sam, just needed a little attention, that's all. Trouble brews as Sam's empire grows. Even with the new managers, the sudden growth of 5 railroads creates friction. Problems start popping up. A bottleneck at the freight yard. A bridge inspector claiming a structure is unsafe. A rival railroad owner stirring rumors. A politician trying to take credit. A newspaper reporter digging for a scandal. A factory demanding faster deliveries. A union crew upset about a scheduling mix-up. Sam doesn't panic. He calls a meeting. The manager's first big meeting. Sam sits at the head of the long table, feet barely touching the floor, but the room is silent, waiting for him. Sam, We got problems. Lots of them. Operations manager, yes sir, but nothing we can't fix. Track manager, the bridge inspector's wrong. The structure's sound. Mechanical manager, the bottlenecks from outdated switches. We can replace them. Finance manager, payroll's stable. We can hire more crews. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, this is why you hired us. Let us carry the load. Sam nods slowly. Sam, all right then. Let's fix it. The managers grin. They've been waiting for this moment. Quality solutions roll out. Each manager takes charge of their section. Operations reroutes freight to clear the bottleneck. Track and infrastructure re-inspects the bridge and files a clean report. Mechanical upgrades the switches and modernizes the yard. Finance hires more clerks and bookkeepers. Logistics coordinates with factories to streamline deliveries. Within a week, the entire system runs smoother than ever. Workers start saying, "Worker, this ain't a railroad no more, it's a miracle machine." The newspapers catch on. Headlines appear across the region. 5 railroads revived, boy at the helm. Economic boom follows Sam Rowe's expansion. Factories reopen as rail lines come back to life. Reporters swarm the stations, trying to get a quote from Sam. Sam just says, "I'm just making sure folks can get where they're going." Politicians smell opportunity. A group of state politicians arrive for a photo op. They shake hands, smile for cameras, and give speeches about their leadership and their vision. One senator pats Sam on the shoulder. "Senator, young man, this success is a testament to our state's policies." Sam smiles politely. Sam, yes sir. Y'all helped make it possible. Senator, and we'll continue to support this growth. Sam, yes sir. Folks appreciate that. The politicians beam. Sam just made them look good. Mr. Jacobs leans over and whispers, "You know they didn't do nothing, right?" "Yes sir. But if they think they did, they'll stay out of our way." Jacobs bursts out laughing. Businesses boom. With the railroads running smoothly again. Mills reopen. Factories expand. Farmers ship more crops. Stores restock. New jobs appear everywhere. A hardware store owner shakes Sam's hand. Store owner, "Son, you saved my business." Sam, "No sir. You saved it. I just gave you a way to get your goods." Sam's reputation grows. People start calling him the boy with the golden touch, the little railroad king, the miracle mechanic, the kid who saved the county. Sam just shrugs. "I ain't no king. I'm just fixing things." Sam's world is about to get louder, faster, and more dramatic. With 5 railroads humming, new managers in place, and the region booming, the story naturally explodes into intrigue, political maneuvering, business drama, and Sam's quiet brilliance holding it all together. A region transformed. With the new assistant managers running their divisions, the entire region wakes up. Factories reopen. Mills restart. Farmers ship more crops. Merchants restock shelves. Families find work again. People start saying, "If Sam Rowe touches it, it comes back to life." But success brings attention, and attention brings trouble. A sabotage attempt. One night, the track and infrastructure manager bursts into Mr. Jacobs' office. "Manager, sir. Someone pulled spikes on the East Line." Mr. Jacobs, "Sabotage." Manager, "Yes, sir. Deliberate." Mr. Jacobs calls Sam immediately. Sam arrives, still in his school clothes, lunch pail in hand. He kneels beside the damaged track, touches the rail, and the steel straightens, the spikes recede, the ties renew themselves. The workers gasp. Worker, how does he do that? Engineer, don't question it. Just be glad he can. Sam stands up, brushing dust off his knees. Sam, fix the rest. And double the patrols. Mr. Jacobs, you ain't scared. Sam, no sir. If they're trying to stop us, it means we're winning. The press smells a story. A reporter corners Sam outside the station. Reporter, "Mr. Rowe. Is it true someone tried to sabotage your railroad?" Sam, "Yes, sir." Reporter, "Are you concerned?" Sam, "No, sir. We fixed it." Reporter, "How?" Sam smiles politely. Sam, "With good people." The next day's headline. Boy Railroad King unstoppable, sabotage fails, Union quickly repairs damage. Politicians try to claim the boom. A group of state officials arrive for a ribbon-cutting ceremony at a newly reopened freight yard. They shake hands, pose for photos, and give speeches about their leadership and their vision for economic growth. One senator steps up to the microphone. Senator, this revival is the result of strong state policy and wise oversight. The crowd claps politely. Then Sam is invited to speak. He steps up, small but confident. Sam, thank y'all for coming. The state's support sure helped. The politicians beam. Sam, but the real credit goes to the workers who rebuilt this place. The crowd erupts in cheers. The senator leans over afterward. Senator, thank you, son. You made us look good. Sam, yes, sir. That's my job sometimes. Mr. Jacobs nearly chokes trying not to laugh. Businesses flood in. With the railroads running smoothly, companies from neighboring counties start calling. A factory owner shakes Sam's hand. Owner, son, you saved my business. Sam, no sir. You saved it. I just gave you a way to move your goods. A farmer arrives next. Farmer, my crops are finally getting to market on time. Sam, glad to hear it, sir. A mill foreman follows. Foreman, we're hiring again. 50 men this week. Sam, that's good news. Everywhere Sam goes, people thank him. Everywhere Sam goes, he stays humble. The managers prove their worth. The new assistant managers shine. Operations eliminates delays. Track and infrastructure modernizes the lines. Mechanical upgrades engines. Finance stabilizes payroll. Logistics coordinates shipments across all 5 railroads. Mr. Jacobs watches them proudly. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, these folks are good. Sam, yes sir. That's why we hired Mr. Jacobs, you know, you're starting to run this like a real company. Sam, we are a real company. Sam's legend grows. People start calling him the Little Railroad King, the boy with the golden touch, the kid who saved the county, the miracle mechanic. Sam just shrugs. Sam, I ain't no king. I'm just fixing things. But the truth is clear. Sam is becoming a regional force, and at only 15 years old. A natural next step. The Great Storm of 36. A massive spring storm rolls in from the Gulf, dark clouds, roaring winds, sheets of rain. The kind of storm that makes grown men pace the floor. The first warning comes over the telegraph. Flash flood North Bridge at River Bend threatened. Mr. Jacobs reads it twice, then grabs his coat. Mr. Jacobs, get Sam. Crisis at River Bend. By the time Sam arrives, the river is swollen and angry. The bridge trembles under the force of the water. Workers shout over the storm. Track manager, she won't hold, Sam. The pilings are giving way. Sam, clear the line. No trains cross till I say so. Lightning cracks. The wind howls. The bridge groans like a wounded animal. Sam steps onto the trembling structure. And then, Mr. Jacobs, Sam. Get off there. Dear God, you are going to get yourself killed. Sam, I gotta see what's wrong. He kneels, places his hand on the soaked steel, and the bridge shudders then steadies. The workers stare, wide-eyed. Worker, he's doing it again. Engineer, let him work. Sam closes his eyes, focusing. The steel strengthens. The pilings anchor. The bolts tighten. The entire structure renews itself beneath him. When he stands, the bridge is solid as bedrock. Sam, she's good. Let's reinforce the banks before the next wave hits. The men cheer. The press goes wild. The next morning's headlines explode across the region. Boy saves bridge in deadly storm. Disaster averted by 10-year-old railroad king. Flood fails, Sam Rowe does not. Reporters swarm the station. Reporter, Sam. How did you fix that bridge in the middle of a storm? Sam, just needed a little attention. Reporter, are you some kind of prodigy? Sam, no sir. I'm just doing my job. Besides, the union men did all the work. I just put out ideas to see if any of them would stick. Politicians try to claim the victory. A group of state officials rush to the scene the next day, eager to stand where Sam stood. The governor himself arrives, shaking hands, smiling for cameras. Governor, this bridge stands today because of our state's commitment to infrastructure. The crowd claps politely. Then Sam is invited to speak. He steps up, small but steady. Sam, thank y'all for coming. The state's support sure helped. The politicians beam. Sam, but the real heroes are the workers. They are the ones who stood out here in the rain with me. The crowd erupts in cheers. The governor leans over afterward. Governor, son, you just made us look mighty good. Sam, yes, sir. That's important sometimes. Mr. Jacobs nearly falls over laughing. The economic boom explodes. With the bridge saved and the storm passed, something incredible happens. Factories expand production. New businesses open. Farmers ship record harvests. Mills hire hundreds. Towns along the line grow overnight. A merchant shakes Sam's hand. Merchant, son, you saved this whole region. Sam, no sir. Y'all saved it. I just kept the trains running. Well, the union boys did all the work. The managers rise to another challenge. The storm creates dozens of smaller problems. Washed out culverts. Flooded yards. Damaged telegraph lines. Delayed freight. But the new managers shine. Operations manager, we rerouted the freight. Track manager, crews are already repairing the washouts. Mechanical manager, engines are inspected and ready. Finance manager, payrolls covered. No delays. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, they're good. Real good. Sam, yes sir. That's why we hired him. Sam's legend becomes unstoppable. People start telling stories. He fixed a bridge in a storm. He saved 5 railroads. He revived the whole county. He's touched by God. He's the boy who can fix anything. Sam just shakes his head. Sam, I ain't no miracle. I'm just trying to help. But the truth is clear. Sam is becoming a myth before he's even 11. A natural next step. The storm has made Sam a hero, but it also puts him on the radar of rival railroad barons, national newspapers, federal regulators, businessmen from other states, and people who want to use him. A rival railroad baron who wants him crushed. The federal government suddenly taking interest. A region booming so fast it's shaking the political landscape. And a 10-year-old boy at the center of it all. A rival railroad baron declares war. His name is Silas Blackwell, owner of the Blackwell Continental Line, one of the biggest railroads in the South. He's tall, sharp-eyed, and mean as a rattlesnake in a rain barrel. When he hears it's 5 railroads and stealing freight contracts, he slams his fist on his mahogany desk. Blackwell, a child is talking in my business? Over my dead body. He sends spies, saboteurs, and lawyers to dig into Sam's operations. Blackwell's tactics. Spreading rumors Sam is a fraud. Bribing inspectors to shut down Sam's lines. Offering factories better deals if they abandon Sam. Planting men to stir trouble among union crews. Trying to buy out Sam's suppliers. But Sam's managers catch every move. Mr. Jacobs, Silas Blackwell's coming after us. Sam, let him come. We'll stay ahead. Blackwell's first strike, the freight contract coup. Blackwell tries to steal a major freight contract from Sam, one that would cripple the region if lost. He storms into the factory owner's office. Blackwell, you sign with that boy, you'll regret it. Owner, Sam's been reliable. Blackwell, he's a child. Owner, he's a child who delivers on time. Blackwell leaves furious. Sam arrives later, calm and polite. Sam, sir, I ain't here to fight nobody. I'm here to help you move your goods. Owner, Sam, you got the contract. Blackwell hears the news and nearly explodes. Meanwhile, Washington takes notice. The U.S. Department of Transportation sends a formal letter. Mr. Samuel Rowe, your rapid acquisition of multiple railroads has drawn federal attention. We request a meeting to discuss compliance, safety, and antitrust concerns. Sam reads it twice. Sam, what's antitrust? Mr. Jacobs, means they think you're getting too big. Sam, I ain't trying to get big. I'm trying to get folks where they're going. Washington doesn't care about intentions, they care about power. Federal inspectors arrive. 3 stern men in suits step off the train. Inspector, we're here to examine your operations. Sam, yes sir. Right this way. They expect chaos. They expect incompetence. They expect a child's mess. Instead they find spotless yards, modernized switches, Reinforced bridges, efficient schedules, safe engines, organized offices, trained crews, and managers who know their jobs cold. One inspector whispers to another, "Inspector, this is better run than half the lines up north." Second inspector, and the 10-year-old owns it. Third inspector, "Lord help us." Blackwell tries to sabotage the inspection. Blackwell bribes a federal inspector to file a false report claiming Sam's bridges are unsafe. But the inspector's assistant, an honest young man, brings the report to Sam. "Assistant, sir, this ain't right. Someone paid him to write this." Sam nods. "Sam, thank you for being honest." "Assistant, what will you do?" "Sam, tell the truth. It always wins." Sam presents the real inspection data. The bribed inspector is fired. Blackwell is exposed. Washington takes note. The federal hearing. Sam is summoned to testify before a federal panel, men in suits, marble floors, echoing chambers. He stands on a wooden box so he can reach the microphone. "Chairman, Mr. Rowe, do you understand the seriousness of this hearing?" Sam, "Yes, sir." "Chairman, you own 5 railroads. Why?" Sam, "Because folks needed them fixed." "Chairman, are you trying to build a monopoly?" Sam, "No, sir. I'm trying to build a future." "Chairman, for who?" Sam looks around the room. Sam, "For everybody." The room goes silent. The verdict. The panel votes unanimously. Samuel Rowe poses no antitrust threat. His operations are safe, efficient, and beneficial to the region. Washington leaves impressed. Blackwell leaves furious. Sam leaves hungry because he missed lunch. Blackwell's final attack. Cornered and desperate, Blackwell tries one last move. He attempts to buy out Sam's suppliers to choke off his materials. But Sam's managers saw it coming. They already diversified suppliers, built in-house manufacturing, secured long-term contracts, stockpiled critical materials. Blackwell's plan collapses. The showdown. Blackwell storms into Sam's office. "Blackwell, you ruined me." Sam, "No, sir. You ruined yourself." Blackwell, "You're just a boy." Sam, "Yes, sir. But I ain't alone." Behind Sam stand Mr. Jacobs, the 5 assistant managers, union leaders, factory owners, farmers, merchants, and half the town. Blackwell looks around, defeated. "Sam, sir, you could have helped folks. Instead, you tried to hurt them." Blackwell, "What do you want from me?" Sam, "Nothing. Just let us work." Blackwell leaves in silence. Aftermath. Sam becomes a legend. The region explodes with pride. People say, "He beat a railroad baron. He stood up to Washington. He saved the county. He's touched by God. He's the boy who can fix anything." Sam just shakes his head. "Sam, I ain't no miracle. I'm just trying to help." But everyone knows the truth. Sam Rowe is unstoppable. He's just beaten a railroad baron, survived federal scrutiny, saved a bridge in a storm, and become a regional legend at age 15. Mama reminds Sam he's still her boy. The house is quiet after supper. Sam sits on the porch steps, staring out at the darkening sky. He looks older than 15, too old. Mama steps outside with a blanket and drapes it over his shoulders. "Mama, baby, you been running yourself ragged." Sam, "I'm all right, Mama." "Mama, no, you ain't. I can see it in your eyes." Sam doesn't answer. He just watches the fireflies blink in the yard. Mama sits beside him. "Mama, you saved a bridge in a storm. You stood up to Washington. You beat a man twice your size and 10 times your age." Sam shrugs. Sam, "Just doing what needed doing." Mama turns his face toward her. "Mama, Sam Rowe, you're 15 years old. 10. You ain't supposed to carry the whole world." Sam, "But if I don't, Mama, folks get hurt." "Mama, baby, listen to me. You got good people now. Mr. Jacobs. The managers. The union crews. Let them carry some of it." Sam's voice cracks just a little. "Sam, I don't want to let nobody down." Mama pulls him close. "Mama, you won't. You never have. But you gotta let yourself be a boy sometimes. You hear me?" Sam nods into her shoulder. Sam, "Yes, ma'am." "Mama, Good. Now come inside. You smell like river mud and lightning. Sam laughs for the first time in days. Sam expands into a new industry. The power and light company. With the railroads stabilized and the region booming, a new problem emerges, one that affects every home, every factory, every farm. The power grid is failing. The symptoms. Factories losing electricity mid-shift. Towns going dark at night. Farms unable to run pumps. Telegraph lines flickering. Outages lasting hours. The region's old power company Gulf Shores Electric hasn't upgraded anything in 20 years. Their equipment is rusted, their generators outdated, their lines sagging. Mr. Jacobs brings Sam the news. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, the railroads are running fine. But the power company's falling apart. Sam, how bad? Mr. Jacobs, bad enough folks can't work. Bad enough factories are threatening to leave the region. Sam thinks for a moment. Sam, then we gotta fix it. The power company board meeting. The board members of Gulf Shores Electric sit around a long table, sweating in the heat because the building's power is flickering and the fans are not running. Sam walks in with Mr. Jacobs and the managers. Board chairman, son, this is a power company. Not a toy train set. Sam, yes sir. And it ain't working. Board member, we need millions to fix this grid. Sam, I got steel. I got concrete. I got crews. I got know-how. Board chairman, you want to buy the whole company. Sam, yes sir. Board member, it's bankrupt. Sam, yes sir. That's why I'm buying it. The board stares at him, stunned. Sam rebuilds the power grid. Sam's managers divide the work. Mechanical manager modernizes the generators. Track and infrastructure manager rebuilds the substations. Operations manager designs a new grid layout. Finance manager stabilizes the company's books. Union crews replace poles, wires, and transformers. Sam himself walks into the main power plant, touches the failing turbine, and it hums back to life, smooth, strong, steady. Workers gasp. Worker, he fixed the whole turbine, with one touch. Engineer, don't question it. Just be glad he can. The region lights up. Within weeks. Towns glow at night. Factories run full shifts. Farms irrigate again. Telegraphs stay online. Businesses expand. New jobs appear everywhere. A newspaper headline reads, Sam Rowe saves power grid, region bright again. Politicians try to claim credit yet again. The governor arrives for a ribbon cutting at the new power plant. Governor, this success is due to our state's commitment to infrastructure. The crowd claps politely. Sam steps up to speak. Sam, thank y'all for coming. The state's support sure helped. The politicians beam. Sam, but the real credit goes to the crews who worked day and night to bring the lights back. The crowd roars. Mr. Jacobs whispers. Mr. Jacobs, you're making em look good again. Sam, yes sir. Keeps em friendly. Sam's legend grows even more. People start saying, he saved the railroads. He saved the power grid. He saved the whole region. He's touched by God. He's the boy who can fix anything. Sam just shakes his head. Sam, I ain't no miracle. I'm just trying to help. But everyone knows the truth, but no one is willing to say it out loud. They know if they do, it all falls down, and the whole region dies with it. Why the workers just go with it. The workers have seen Sam do things no human should be able to do. Straighten a twisted rail with one touch. Renew a cracked turbine casing. Fix a failing generator by laying his hand on it. Restore a bridge in the middle of a storm. At first, they're shocked. Then confused. Then, protective. A new hire might whisper, new worker, how'd you do that? And an old hand just shakes his head. Old worker, don't question it. Just be glad he can. They don't report it. They don't gossip to outsiders. They don't tell the newspapers. They treat Sam's gift like a sacred secret, something you respect, not exploit. Why they protect him? He saved their jobs. He saved their families. He saved their towns. He treats every worker with respect. He never brags. He never asks for credit. He's just a boy. To them, Sam isn't a miracle. He's their miracle. The beautiful dance between the two creates a perfect ecosystem. Politicians think they're the heroes. Workers know Sam is the real one. Sam stays hidden in plain sight. The region keeps booming. Rivals underestimate him. Washington sees a polite, harmless kid. Sam keeps fixing the world quietly. A new school problem emerges. With his homework under control and his stress easing, Sam starts feeling like a normal boy again. He's answering questions in class, smiling more, even joining in at recess. That's when Eddie Thompson shows up. Eddie is the kind of kid who always has something to prove something, loud, sharp-tongued, and convinced he's the smartest boy in school. And he hates that Sam, quiet little Sam, is suddenly getting attention. Eddie starts small. Snide comments. Bumping Sam in the hallway. Mocking him for being teacher's favorite. Bragging loudly about how he should be top of the class. Sam tries to ignore it. Sam tries to walk away. Sam tries to stay focused. But Eddie keeps pushing. The confrontation. One afternoon, Eddie corners Sam near the bike rack. Eddie, think you're better than everybody, don't you? Sam, no sir. I'm just trying to get home. Eddie, you think you're some kind of genius. Sam, I ain't thinking nothing like that. Eddie, then why's everybody talking about you? Sam shrugs, trying to leave. Sam, I don't know, Eddie. I ain't looking for trouble. Eddie, well, you found it. Sam doesn't fight. Sam doesn't argue. Sam just walks away. But several union men waiting to pick up their kids see the whole thing. They exchange looks. The union steps in, quietly. The next evening, 3 union representatives knock on the Thompsons' front door. They're polite, hats in hand, respectful as Sunday morning. Mr. Thompson answers, confused. Union rep, sir, we'd like a word about your boy. Mr. Thompson, what's he done now? Union rep, nothing serious. But he's been giving young Sam Rowe a hard time. Mr. Thompson stiffens. Mr. Thompson, Sam Rowe? The railroad boy. Union rep, yes sir. That one. Mr. Thompson, is Eddie in trouble? Union rep, no sir. We ain't here for trouble. Just want him to make sure he understands Sam's a good kid. Works hard. Helps a lot of folks. Second rep, we'd appreciate it if Eddie gave him some peace. Mr. Thompson, I'll handle it. No threats. No shouting. No intimidation. Just calm, respectful conversation. The Thompsons close the door, pale and thoughtful. The problem disappears overnight. The next morning at school, Eddie walks up to Sam. But instead of sneering, he clears his throat. Eddie, Sam. Sam, yes sir. Eddie, I ain't gonna bother you no more. Sam blinks. Sam, all right. Eddie, we're good. Sam, yes sir. We're good. Eddie walks away, quieter than anyone's ever seen him. The other kids notice. The teachers notice. Sam notices most of all. A new kind of respect. From that day on, Eddie leaves Sam alone. Other kids stop teasing. Sam gains quiet respect. The school sees him differently. The union becomes a silent guardian force. Word spreads among the workers. Worker, some kid was giving Sam trouble. Engineer, not anymore. Foreman, we talked to the parents. Real polite like. Worker, good. Sam don't need that nonsense. Sam never hears the details. He just feels the peace. And he's grateful. A major crisis hits the power grid. It starts with a low hum in the distance, then a flicker, then a blackout that rolls across the region like a wave. What fails? 3 major transmission lines. 2 substations. The main turbine at the Gulf Shores plant. Telegraph lines. Factory power. Street lights across 5 towns. The entire region plunges into darkness. Mr. Jacobs bursts into Sam's office. Mr. Jacobs, Sam, the grid's down. All of it. Sam, how long we got before factories shut down? Mr. Jacobs, they already have. Sam, all right. Let's move. Sam grabs his coat and runs. Mobilizing the response. Sam's managers snap into action like a well-oiled machine. Operations manager halts all non-essential trains. Logistics manager reroutes freight to emergency supplies. Mechanical manager prepares repair crews. Track manager organizes field teams. Finance manager authorizes overtime and hazard pay. Sam stands in the center of the room, calm but intense. Sam, we're gonna fix this. Every line, every pole, every transformer. Nobody goes without power tonight. The managers nod and scatter. Railroads become lifelines. Sam orders emergency trains loaded with poles, wire, transformers, insulators, tools, generators, food, water, blankets. The trains roll out in every direction, whistles echoing through the dark. Workers cheer as the supply trains arrive. Worker, Sam sent us everything we need. Foreman, let's get to work, boys. Trucking crews join the fight. Sam's trucking division, newly formed but eager, deploys dozens of trucks to reach places the trains can't. Drivers shout over the engines. Driver, we got poles. Driver 2, we got wire. Driver 3, we got food for the night cruise. Sam's logistics network becomes a miracle machine. Feeding the workers. Sam knows tired men can't fix power lines. He sends out teams with hot coffee, sandwiches, stew, water, blankets, lanterns. A lineman wipes sweat from his brow. Lineman, who sent the food? Volunteer, Sam Rowe. Lineman, of course he did. Sam fixes the impossible. At the main power plant, the turbine is cracked beyond repair by normal means. Engineers shake their heads. Engineer, she's done for, Sam. We'll need weeks to replace her. Sam steps forward. Sam, no sir. We need minutes. He lays his hand on the turbine casing. The metal glows faintly. The cracks seal. The bearings renew. The rotor straightens. The machine hums back to life. The engineers stare, speechless. Engineer, how did you? Foreman, don't question it. Just be glad he can. Sam's new power plants. With the crisis under control, Sam unveils his next idea. A power plant that uses no fuel, no coal, no oil, no gas, no steam. Just the rotation of the earth. Sam's explanation, simple, humble. Sam, the earth spins all the time. We just gotta catch a little of that motion. M.R. Jacobs, Sam, you're talking about free power. Sam, well sir, not exactly, it's cheaper prices for everybody. He designs a generator that anchors deep into bedrock, uses rotational inertia, converts micro movements into electrical current, produces steady, clean power, never needs refueling. Workers call it Sam's Earth Engine, the forever generator, the spin plant, the miracle machine. The rumors go wild. Newspapers explode with stories. Boy invents fuel-less power plant. Sam Rowe defies science again. Cheaper electricity? Little railroad king says yes. Politicians rush to claim credit. Governor, this breakthrough is the result of our state's innovation policies. Sam smiles politely. Sam, yes sir. You'll help make it possible. Mr. Jacobs nearly chokes trying not to laugh, but then falls over laughing so hard it hurts. The region lights up again. Within 48 hours, power is restored. Factories reopen. Telegraphs buzz. Towns glow. Families cheer. Workers rest. The crisis ends. And Sam's new Earth-powered plant becomes the talk of the nation. National scientists wanting to study Sam's generator. Rival industries panicking. Politicians scrambling to control the narrative. Sam quietly building more Earth-powered plants. A new wave of economic growth. Sam sets the record straight. Rumors explode across the region. Sam's giving away free electricity. He's destroying the power companies. He's gonna put every plant out of business. He's making energy from thin air. Sam calls a press conference not flashy, just a simple gathering outside the main power plant. He steps up to the microphone, small but steady. Sam, I ain't giving away free electricity. I sell it to the power companies. They sell it to y'all. Same as always. Reporters scribble. Sam, only difference is I sell it cheaper. That's all. Reporter, so you're not replacing the power companies. Sam, no sir. They got the lines. They got the meters. They got the crews. I'm just helping them keep the lights on. The crowd murmurs approvingly. Sam smiles politely. Sam, ain't nothing to see here. The politicians behind him beam like they invented electricity themselves. Politicians take credit, exactly as Sam wants. The governor steps forward, shaking Sam's hand for the cameras. Governor, this breakthrough is the result of our state's forward-thinking energy policies. Sam nods. Sam, yes sir. You'll help make all of this possible. Mr. Jacobs whispers behind him. Mr. Jacobs, you're making M look like geniuses again. Sam, yes sir. Keeps M friendly as always. The crowd laughs. The governor doesn't realize he's been handled by a 15-year-old. Sam's 50-50th partnership plan. Sam calls a private meeting with the heads of every power company in the region. They arrive nervous, thinking Sam is about to take over everything. Sam stands on a chair so he can see the room. Sam, I ain't here to replace y'all. I'm here to partner. The room goes quiet. Sam, I'll build the new power plants. Y'all run them. Executives blink. Sam, I provide the electricity. You provide the transmission lines, the meters, the crews, the billing. Executive, and the profits. Sam, 50-50. The room erupts in whispers. One executive leans forward. Executive, you're serious. Sam, yes sir. I don't want your jobs. I want folks to have power. The executives look at each other, relieved, excited, and suddenly very loyal. The unions are over the moon. Union leaders meet with Sam and Mr. Jacobs. Union rep, Sam, this partnership keeps every lineman, every plant worker, every meter reader employed. Sam, yes sir. That's the idea. Union rep, you're making sure nobody gets left behind. Sam, that's the whole point. The unions pledge full support. They even start calling Sam's new plants union-powered earth engines. Sam's spin stations. Forever plants. And they protect them like sacred ground. The power companies are thrilled. Sam's 50-50th deal gives them guaranteed cheap electricity. No fuel costs. No coal shipments. No oil contracts. No turbine failures. No expensive maintenance. No risk of bankruptcy. They get to keep their workers, their infrastructure, their billing systems, their political influence, their public image. And they get to say, we partnered with Sam Rowe to modernize the grid, which makes them look brilliant. The press eats it up. Headlines explode. Sam Rowe saves power industry, not replaces it. New 50-50th energy partnership stabilizes region. Politicians praise innovation they didn't create. Unions celebrate job security for decades. Sam just shrugs. I ain't doing nothing special. Just helping folks. The public loves him even more. People say, he saved the grid. He saved the power companies. He saved the workers. He saved the politicians from looking foolish. He's the boy who can fix anything. Sam just smiles. Sam, I ain't no miracle. I'm just trying to help. But everyone knows the truth. Sam Rowe is building a future no one else could even imagine. A top university gives Sam an honorary PhD. The University of Yale University Coast Campus holds a special ceremony. Professors in long robes. A brass band. A podium too tall for Sam, so they put a wooden crate behind it. The dean clears his throat dramatically. Dean, for extraordinary contributions to industry, infrastructure, and public welfare. We hereby award Samuel Rowe an honorary doctorate of humanities. The crowd applauds wildly. Sam steps up, tiny in his oversized gown. Sam, thank y'all. I ain't sure what a humanities doctor does, but I'm honored. Laughter ripples through the audience. The dean beams. The professors beam. The politicians beam so hard their faces hurt. Politicians lose their minds. The governor grabs Sam's hand for a photo. Governor, this honorary degree is proof of our state's commitment to education. Sam nods politely. Sam, yes sir. Y'all help make it possible. Mr. Jacobs whispers behind him, you're making them think they look like geniuses again. Sam, yes sir. Keeps them friendly. The newspapers explode. 15-year-old railroad king now the Sam. Politicians praise educational breakthrough they didn't create. University claims credit for child prodigy. The university takes credit. The politicians take credit. The unions take credit. Everyone takes credit. Except Sam. Schoolyard trouble, the new bully. The next Monday, Sam walks into school wearing his normal clothes, no gown, no medal, no fuss. A new bully, Tommy Griggs, corners him at recess. Tommy, hey, Dr. Sam, if you got a PhD, why are you even in school? Sam sighs. Sam, it's honorary. Tommy, means what? Sam, means it ain't real. Just a title. I still gotta do homework. Tommy, so you ain't a real doctor. Sam, no sir. Tommy, then what's the point? Sam shrugs. Sam, makes grown UPS feel good, I guess. Tommy snorts. Tommy, you're still a shrimp. Sam walks away. But several union men waiting to pick up their kids see the whole thing. They exchange looks. The union steps in, quiet, polite, effective. That evening, 3 union representatives knock on the Griggs front door. Mr. Griggs answers, confused. Union rep, sir, we'd like a word about your boy. Mr. Griggs, what did he do now? Union rep, nothing serious. But he's been giving young Sam Rowe a hard time. Mr. Griggs stiffens. Mr. Griggs, Sam Rowe? The railroad boy. Union rep, yes sir. That one. Mr. Griggs, is Tommy in trouble? Union rep, no sir. We ain't here for trouble. Just wanting to make sure he understands Sam's a good kid. Works hard. Helps a lot of folks. Second rep, we'd appreciate it if Tommy gave him some peace. Mr. Griggs, I'll handle it. No threats. No shouting. No intimidation. Just calm, respectful conversation. The Griggs family closes the door, pale and thoughtful. The problem disappears overnight. The next morning, Tommy approaches Sam. Tommy, Sam. Sam, yes sir. Tommy, I ain't gonna bother you no more. Sam nods. Sam, all right. Tommy, we're good. Sam, yes sir. We're good. Tommy walks away, quiet as a mouse. The teachers notice. The kids notice. Sam notices most of all. Sam stays humble despite the honorary degree. The politicians get their photo ops and bragging rights. The university gets prestige. The unions protect Sam like he's one of their own. The school sees Sam with new respect. Sam stays grounded, human, and relatable. The spring storm that changes everything. It starts as a normal Massachusetts spring storm, dark clouds, cold wind, a rumble in the distance. But within an hour, it becomes something else entirely. Hail the size of marbles. Flash flooding in low-lying neighborhoods. Lightning strikes knocking out transformers. Trees falling across roads. Basements filling with water. Families stranded. Power lines down everywhere. Sam watches from his window, jaw tight. Sam, Mama, folks are gonna need help. Mama nods. Mama, then go help them, baby. Sam mobilizes the entire region. Sam calls Mr. Jacobs, the managers, and the union reps. Sam, we're gonna need everything. Trucks. Trains. Crews. Supplies. All of it. Mr. Jacobs, already on it, son. Union rep, our boys are rolling out. Within minutes, Sam's emergency plan kicks into gear. What Sam sends out? Food. Water. Blankets. Dry clothes. Lanterns. Generators. First aid kits. Hot coffee. Sandwiches. Soup. Tarps. Tools. His supply trains run through the storm like steel lifelines. The unions hit the ground running. Union crews fan out across the region. Clearing fallen trees. Pumping out basements. Repairing downed lines. Rescuing stranded families. Patching roofs. Checking on elderly residents. Setting up warming stations. A lineman shouts over the wind. Lineman, Sam sent us everything we need. Foreman, then let's get these folks safe. Churches become shelters. Sam calls every pastor he knows. Sam, Reverend, we need the Family Life Center open tonight. Pastor, already unlocking the doors, son. Churches across the region transform into shelters, soup kitchens, clothing banks, sleeping quarters, daycare centers. Families arrive soaked, scared, and exhausted. Volunteers hand out blankets and hot meals. Volunteer, Sam Rowe sent this. Mother, bless that boy. Trucking crews deliver hope. Sam's trucking division becomes the backbone of the relief effort. Drivers shout as they unload supplies. Driver, we got dry clothes. Driver 2, we got hot meals. Driver 3, we got blankets and lanterns. People cheer when they see the trucks. Sam puts his money where his heart is. Sam meets with the union rep for the home builders. Sam, these folks lost their homes. They need help. Union rep, we'll rebuild them, Sam. But it'll take money. Sam nods. Sam, I'm putting $1 million into the pot. The room goes silent. Union rep, Sam, that's a fortune. Sam, it's just money. People matter more. The union rep wipes his eyes. Union rep, we'll make you proud, son. Politicians blow in like a tornado. The next morning, the governor, 2 senators, and half the state legislature show up in shiny boots that have never seen mud. They pose for photos. They shake hands. They give speeches about leadership and swift government action. One senator pats Sam on the shoulder. Senator, young man, this relief effort is a testament to our state's emergency preparedness. Sam smiles politely. Sam, yes sir. Y'all helped make it possible. The politicians beam like they just saved the world. Mr. Jacobs whispers. Mr. Jacobs, you are making them look like heroes again. It's getting to be too much, he says with a laugh and a grin. Sam, yes sir. Heroes don't bother folks who make them look good. Jacobs nearly collapses laughing. The newspapers go wild. Headlines explode. Politicians lead massive relief effort. State officials praise response to spring storm. Sam Rowe assists government in recovery. Unions, churches, and state leaders save the day. Everyone takes credit. The politicians. The unions. The churches. The universities. The power companies. Everyone except Sam. He just keeps working. The public sees the truth anyway. Families whisper. Sam sent the food. Sam sent the blankets. Sam saved our house. Sam rebuilt the power lines. Sam gave $1 million. But Sam just shakes his head. Sam, me and the boys are just trying to help. And the people smile, because they know better. The unexpected romance. Evelyn Carter worked at the county clerk's office. She had a bright smile, auburn hair, sharp mind, and a kindness that made folks feel seen. Sam walked in one afternoon to file railroad papers. She looked up from her typewriter. Can I help you, young man? Yes, ma'am. I need to file these acquisition forms. She blinked. For what company? The Gulf Shores and Western Divide Railroad. She stared at him, then at the papers. You bought a railroad? Yes, ma'am. She smiled, the first person who didn't laugh or doubt him. Well, let's get you taken care of then. That was the moment Sam fell in love. Sam visited the clerk's office more often than he needed to after that. Mr. Rowe, you don't have any more papers to file. No, ma'am. But I figured you might have something to tell me. About what? Anything. I just like hearing you talk. She blushed every time. They walked the depot platforms at sunset, talking about dreams, futures, and the kind of world Sam wanted to build. Evelyn spoke of the many dreams she envisioned for her life. The proposal. Sam stood on the platform of his newly restored station, holding a small velvet box. Miss Evelyn. I ain't much older than the trains I'm fixin', but I know what I want. She covered her mouth, eyes shining. I want you beside me. Always. Sam Rowe, yes. Yes, I will. When the workers learned of the news, they all cheered. Mama cried. Mr. Jacobs pretended he had dust in his eye. The wedding. A small church. White flowers. Brass band from the railroad union. Sam in a simple suit. Evelyn glowing. The preacher smiled. Preacher, do you, Sam Rowe, take this woman? Yes, sir. Laughter filled the room. I wasn't finished, son. Still yes, sir. They kissed to applause and train whistles from outside. Their first child just 1 year thereafter. A year later, Evelyn held a newborn daughter in her arms, Helen Grace Rowe, named after Sam's mama. Sam stared at the tiny baby, overwhelmed. She's perfect. She's got your eyes. Poor thing. Evelyn laughed and kissed his cheek. Mama held the baby next. Sam, you're a husband now. And a father. Sam nodded, Serious? Yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna build a world she can grow up safe in. Sam and his office manager begin working on the warehouse plans for office supplies. Sam and Mr. Jacobs are sitting in front of the big drafting table they purchased about 2 months ago. The blueprints rolled out, edges falling off the end of the table. Mr. Jacobs, a sharp, organized, loyal friend, is standing beside Sam. The members from the union hall is practically vibrating with excitement. Sam, you're telling me this whole center shaft goes all the way up? Every floor? Yes, sir, right to the roof. Sunlight comes down through the skylight, helps the workers see, and the machinery tracks better in natural light. Mr. Jacobs chimes in, and the robotic arms reach into the shaft to drop the orders into the baskets. Exactly. Each arm has a 3-axis swivel and a precision gripper. They can pick a box off any shelf on any level and place it in the correct basket without ever bumping into each other. The union members looking on in disbelief of what they are seeing. Boy, you're gonna give the whole construction crew a heart attack. They ain't never built nothing like this. Well, nobody has. But it'll work. The baskets descend on a timed track. When they reach the ground floor, the workers match the basket number to the invoice, check the items, pack the crate, and ship it out. And the government wholesale pricing. Everything connected to the government, schools, colleges, county offices, federal agencies, they all get the same rate. No exceptions. The union rep says, you're gonna put half the office supply companies in the country out of business. I'm not trying to. I'm just giving people what they need at a fair price. And the robotics, nobody else has anything like this. That's why we build it tall. The vertical shaft lets the machinery work faster than any horizontal layout. Gravity helps us. Efficiency helps us. And the workers stay on the ground floor where it's safe. Sam, this is gonna be the most advanced warehouse in the United States. Sam. Maybe. But mostly it's just practical. The first tour. The warehouse is newly operational. Sam, the union rep, and Mr. Jacobs, the office manager, are walking the ground floor. Machinery hums above them. Baskets descend. Robotic arms swing with precision. The central shaft rises like a cathedral of motion. Mercy, Sam, you could drop a piano down that shaft and it land in a basket with a shipping label on it. Only if the invoice says, one piano, upright, walnut finish. Order number 1147 just dropped. Basket's on its way down. Let's see if the invoice matches. The union representative is staring at the robotic arm overhead. That thing's got more joints than my cousin Earl after a barn dance. How does it know what to grab? Barcode scanner. Each shelf has a grid. The arm reads the order, calculates the shortest path, and picks the item. No guesswork. Basket's here. Invoice says 12 boxes of ledger paper, 6 ink ribbons, 1 dozen ballpoint pens. Hot dog. It's all here. Even the pens. No leaks, no smears. You sure these ain't magic? Just good design. Sam, this place runs smoother than a preacher's sermon. You got humans and machines working like they're married. Machines do the lifting. People do the thinking. Government wholesale pricing's already drawing attention. We've got inquiries from 3 school districts and a county clerk's office. Wait till the Pentagon hears about this. They'll want a whole truckload of these pens. Then we better build a second shaft. Police Officer O'Toole's warehouse raid. It was mid-morning on a Tuesday. The warehouse is humming. Robotic arms swing. Baskets descend. Workers check invoices. Everything runs like clockwork. O'Toole stands outside, squinting up at the building. He hears motors, sees movement through the windows, and jumps to the wrongest conclusion possible. Officer O'Toole, muttering to himself. Foreign machinery. Unmarked crates. Suspicious activity. I smell espionage. He pushes through the front doors, badge out, eyes wide. O'Toole says to the nearest worker. You. Step away from the basket. What's in that crate? Ledger paper and ballpoint pens. Don't play dumb with me. I saw that arm swing down like it was grabbing plutonium. Who's in charge here? I am, said Sam. This is a government-approved office supply warehouse. O'Toole, scoffing. Office supplies? Don't insult my intelligence. I've seen less movement in a steel mill. What country are you working for? We are nationwide. O'Toole. I'm placing everyone on this floor under arrest for suspicious mechanical activity and potential foreign interference. One of the assistant managers, from the mezzanine, shouting down. Sam, should I call the mayor or the newspaper first? Let's give him 10 minutes. He'll figure it out. O'Toole, to his radio. Dispatch, I've got a situation. Multiple operatives. Unknown machinery. Possible infiltration. Send backup in a flatbed. Mr. Jacobs, quietly to Sam. He's arresting the invoice team. They'll be fine. Just make sure the Pentagon's shipment goes out the back door. Orders? Orders? That's exactly what a foreign operative would say. He marches to the center of the floor, looks up the massive open shaft, and sees dozens of robotic arms moving in synchronized precision. O'Toole, whispering, horrified, coordinated, mechanical, choreography. This is an invasion. Officer O'Toole, this is a government-approved office supply warehouse. O'Toole government-approved? Son, I've been on the force 22 years. I know illegal foreign machinery when I see it. It's just robotics. Robotics? Robotics? In my city? Without a permit? Without notifying the precinct? Without notifying me? He turns to the workers. You're all under arrest for participating in an unauthorized mechanical conspiracy. At what? O'Toole. Don't sass me. You're coming downtown. He starts handcuffing people, badly, including one man who's still holding a clipboard. The assistant manager, shouting from the mezzanine. Sam, you want me to call the mayor or the governor? Let's start with the mayor. The governor can wait until the evening edition. O'Toole. Dispatch, this is Officer O'Toole. I have apprehended approximately, 20 foreign operatives and seized a large quantity of suspicious mechanical equipment. Send backup, a paddy wagon, and maybe a crane. Mr. Jacobs, quietly to Sam. He's arresting the shipping department. Make sure the Pentagon's order goes out the back door. O'Toole, overhearing. Pentagon? Pentagon? So it is a federal conspiracy. He blows his whistle again, long, shrill, heroic in his own mind. O'Toole, everyone is going downtown for questioning. Even the kid. Okay. O'Toole. Wait. You're coming quietly. Sam. Sure. O'Toole. Deflated. Oh. Well. Good. And then the media arrives, because of course they do. A reporter asks the policeman, notebook in hand. Officer O'Toole. Is it true you shut down the only warehouse supplying the Pentagon with office materials? O'Toole. Blanching. The what now? Reporter. Sir, the Pentagon. The Department of Defense. The United States military. O'Toole. Staring at Sam. You didn't tell me that. Sam. You didn't ask. Flashbulbs go off. Workers cheer. Union Hall members laugh so hard they nearly falls over. And O'Toole becomes the most unintentionally famous man in the state. The district attorney decides to prosecute Sam Rowe. Prison bound. The courthouse. Reporters outside. O'Toole pacing like he's about to receive a medal. The ambitious, theatrical, and absolutely misinformed, steps up to the podium. Press conference madness. District Attorney Whitaker. Straightening his tie, speaking with grave importance. Ladies and gentlemen, after reviewing Officer O'Toole's report, I have determined that we may be dealing with a sophisticated, multi-layered criminal enterprise. Reporter number 1. Sir, the warehouse ships office supplies. Whitaker. Office supplies can be a front. Criminals often use everyday items to mask nefarious operations. Reporter number 2. Sir, the Pentagon confirmed they placed an order for staplers. Whitaker. Staplers can be modified. Reporter number 3. Into what? Whitaker. Ignoring the question entirely. We will be pursuing charges of unauthorized mechanical activity, potential foreign collaboration, and operating an unregistered industrial facility. Reporter number 4. Is that even a law? Whitaker. It is now. Meanwhile, in the jailhouse. Sam sits calmly at a metal table. The workers sit beside him, confused but patient. O'Toole stands proudly like he's cracked the Lindbergh kidnapping. O'Toole. Don't worry, son. The daw's gonna sort this out. You'll be confessing in no time. Sam. Confessing to what? O'Toole. illegal robotics, suspicious machinery, foreign involvement. You know, the usual. Worker number one. We pack boxes. O'Toole. Exactly. And who told you to pack them? Worker number one. My supervisor. O'Toole. Aha. A chain of command. He writes this down like he's uncovered a spy ring. The DA interrogates Sam. Whitaker enters dramatically, carrying a thick folder labeled top secret even though it's empty. Whitaker. Samuel Rowe, or should I say? Samuel Rowe. Sam. That's the same name. Whitaker. Don't get clever with me. I know a mastermind when I see one. Sam. I run an office supply warehouse. Whitaker. Exactly. A perfect cover. Sam. For what? Whitaker. For whatever you're covering. He slams the empty folder on the table. It makes a sad little thwop. Sam. Sir, we ship paper, pens, and typewriter ribbons. Whitaker. Ribbons? Ribbons can be encoded. Sam. For what? Whitaker. For espionage. Worker number two. Sir, they're black ink ribbons. Whitaker. Black, the color of secrecy. The media turns on the duck. Outside, the reporters are losing patience. Reporter number one. Joe Whitaker, the mayor says you're embarrassing the city. Reporter number two. The governor says you're interfering with federal supply chains. Reporter number three. The Pentagon says they want their pens. Reporter number four. And the school district says their chalk shipment is late. Whitaker starts sweating. Whitaker. Let's, not jump to conclusions. Reporter number one. You already did. The turning point. Suddenly, a courier rushes in with a telegram from Washington. Urgent, release Sam Rowe immediately. Stop. He is providing essential materials. Stop. Do not interfere with federal supply lines. Stop. Whitaker reads it. O'Toole reads it over his shoulder. The workers cheer. Sam just nods politely. O'Toole. So you're not a foreign agent? Sam. No, sir. O'Toole. Then why didn't you say so? Sam. I did. The union finds out their entire warehouse crew was arrested. Union Hall's office. Phones ringing nonstop. Men shouting. Papers flying. It's like a war room. Union Hall. Slamming the phone down. He what? He arrested the whole warehouse? Every last man. Union rep number one. All of them. Invoice team, packers, loaders, even the guy who sweeps the floor. Union Hall. On what charge? Union rep number two. Operating suspicious machinery. Union Hall. Suspicious machinery? It's a warehouse, not a moonshine still. He grabs his coat. Union Hall. Get the lawyers. Get the stewards. Get the grievance forms. And somebody call the mayor before I do something unprofessional. Meanwhile, the day doubles down. Joe Whitaker is in his office, pacing like he's prosecuting Al Capone. Whitaker. We have to make an example of this Sam Rowe illegal robotics. Foreign interference. Industrial subversion. Assistant DA. Sir, the union is outside. Whitaker. Which union? Assistant DA. All of them. Whitaker freezes. The union arrives at the courthouse. A crowd of union workers floods the steps. Signs appear instantly. Free our boys. Office supplies are not a crime. O'Toole needs glasses. Robot arms have rights too. Union Hall marches up the steps like a general. Union Hall. Whitaker. You better come out here and explain why you arrested my entire workforce for packing boxes. Whitaker peeks through the blinds and nearly faints. And then the federal government arrives. 3 black sedans pull up. Men in suits step out, serious, polished, carrying briefcases stamped with federal seals. The crowd goes silent. Federal official number 1. Where is the district attorney? Whitaker steps out, sweating. Whitaker. Gentlemen, I can explain. Federal official number 2. No, you cannot. He hands Whitaker a folder. Federal official number 1. You have interfered with federal supply lines. The Pentagon is missing critical materials. Whitaker. Pens. Federal official number 1. Yes. Pens. And ledger paper. And typewriter ribbons. And if you think the Department of Defense can function without those, you are gravely mistaken. Federal official number 3. And you arrested the entire union workforce responsible for fulfilling those orders. The union crowd cheers. Union Hall. Tell him again. Inside the courthouse, the federal dressing down. Whitaker sits like a scolded schoolboy. Federal official number 1. You attempted to prosecute a minor for running a legal, government-approved warehouse. Whitaker. I thought it was foreign machinery. Federal official number 2. It's robotics. American robotics. And frankly, better than anything we've seen. Federal official number 3. And you arrested the workers. All of them. During peak shipment hours. Whitaker. I may have misinterpreted the situation. Federal official number 1. You think. The resolution, Sam walks out a hero. The federal officials escort Sam out of the courthouse like he's royalty. The union cheers. Reporters swarm. O'Toole hides behind a potted plant. Whitaker tries to slip out the back door. Union Hall members, throwing an arm around Sam. Boys, this kid just got cleared by Washington itself. Federal official number 2. We'll be in touch, Mr. Rowe. The Pentagon is very interested in your innovations. Sam nods politely. Sam. Thank you, sir. I'll have the next shipment ready by morning. The Army walks into the courtroom. County Courthouse. The DA is still trying to prosecute Sam. Union Hall and half the union are packed into the gallery. Reporters are everywhere. O'Toole is sweating bullets. The judge looks like he wants to retire on the spot. Suddenly, the back doors open. 2 Army officers walk in, full dress uniforms, medals, hats tucked under their arms. The room goes silent. Bailiff. Whispering. Your Honor, the United States Army is here. Judge McClendon, rubbing his temples. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? Send them in. The officers step forward. Colonel Harding. Your Honor, we apologize for the interruption, but we have an urgent matter. Judge McClendon. Colonel, unless you're here to explain why half my county is in this courtroom, I don't want to hear it. Colonel Harding. We're here about the office supplies. The entire courtroom freezes. Judge McClendon. The what? Major Ellis. Holding a clipboard. Sir, the Pentagon placed a requisition order for 6 semi-tractor trailer loads of typewriter ribbons, ledger paper, and ballpoint pens. The shipment was due yesterday. Colonel Harding. And we were informed that the entire warehouse staff was arrested. The judge slowly turns his head toward the DA. Judge McClendon. Whitaker, did you arrest the Army's supply chain? DA Whitaker. Stammering. I believed it was a foreign operation. Colonel Harding. Sir, with respect, the only foreign thing here is your logic. The gallery erupts in laughter. Union Hall slaps his knee so hard it echoes. The Army makes their request. Major Ellis. Your Honor, we respectfully request the immediate release of Mr. Sambro and all warehouse personnel. Colonel Harding. And we would like our office supplies. Today, if possible. Judge McClendon. Leaning back, exhausted. Colonel, you're telling me the United States Army is waiting on pens. Colonel Harding. Sir, with all due respect, you ever tried running a military command without pens? Major Ellis. We can't issue orders. We can't file reports. We can't requisition fuel. We can't even sign for lunch. Colonel Harding. And the general is in a very bad mood. The judge bangs his gavel. Judge McClendon. Case dismissed. Release everyone immediately. And somebody get these men their pens. The courtroom explodes in cheers. Aftermath. The Union celebrates. Sam, you just got rescued by the United States Army. You know that, right? Seems that way. Union Hall. Boy, you're gonna be a legend. Reporters swarm the Army officers. Reporter number 1. Colonel, is it true the Army came all this way for office supplies? Colonel Harding. Straight-faced. Son, wars have been lost for less. Reporter number 2. What do you think of Sam Rowe? Major Ellis. He's the only reason our paperwork gets done on time. Colonel Harding. And if anyone arrests him again, they'll be dealing with us. O'Toole quietly sinks behind a bench. And Sam? He just goes back to work like nothing ever happened.
The North Korean War Draft Notice. Sam walked to the mailbox to pick up the Daily Mail from home, and he noticed something unusual. It was a letter from the government. It was a draft notice. He brought it into the house, sit down and read it again. Sam had a fail-safe idea several years back. He put a black box on the back of every building of every operation that he had going. He lifted the lid and put in a key and turned it. This would shut everything off and it would never run again. All traces of how it ran would be gone. Sam now announces to his wife, his mother, had his manager Mr. Jacobs that he just got drafted into the army. He would be leaving in 15 days. He gave each of them an envelope that contained a key. He said, don't open this envelope and use it unless you absolutely have to. This shut down whatever operation that is running. There's a black box on the back of every building and every machine that I've ever built. Lift the lid, stick in the key, turn it. That will permanently shut it down, and it will never run again. Do this and only do this if you absolutely have to. Otherwise, leave everything running. And the contracts that I worked out with the unions and businesses, they will have to pay you a sum of money each and every month. I've made certain that all of our debts have been paid off just recently. We're completely debt-free. Before he left for basic training, Sam Rowe gathered the 3 people who had shaped his life. His wife Evelyn, his mother, and Mr. Jacobs. He didn't want to leave them with fear. He wanted to leave them with security. Sam speaks to his family. Sam, gentle, steady, tells them. I don't know what's coming, but I do know this, nothing I built is going to fall apart if I'm not here. He places a folder on the kitchen table. Sam. Every factory, every shop, every machine, they'll keep running. I designed them that way. You won't have to lift a finger unless you want to. Evelyn's reaction. Evelyn, soft, emotional. Sam, you didn't have to do all this. Sam, smiling faintly. I did. Because I want you and the kids to live good. Not just now, but always. Mama speaks. Mama, proud, teary. You always were thinking ahead, Samuel. Even when you were little, you were building things to last. Sam, quietly says. This family deserves something that lasts. Mr. Jacobs. The mentor's words. Mr. Jacobs, steady, respectful. I'll watch over everything, Sam. Your people, your factories, your name, they'll be safe. Sam. Thank you, sir. If anything happens, make sure my kids know their daddy tried to leave the world better than he found it. The legacy. Sam Rowe didn't just build businesses. He built a future. A future that would take care of his wife, his children, and even their children after them. He left behind machines that never tired, systems that never slept, and a legacy that would run long after the war ended. Sam's final words before he leaves. Sam, soft, hopeful. I'll be back as soon as I can. But if I'm not, just know everything I ever built, I built for you. I love.
On day number 15, Sam Rowe reports for duty. He follows orders and gets in line. He is addressed for the first time by his drill sergeant. Sam had watched the soldiers prior to his company and knew the things not to do, and more importantly what he should do based on his observations. He stood at attention. Unwavering, face calm without expression. He stood straight, tall, and proud. When spoken to, he said, "Sir, yes, sir." The sergeant did not bother him, as he recognized him as a potential of a fine soldier. Sam made it successfully through boot camp. He went through additional training, because he was singled out as someone that would be an excellent medic in the field. He was given a written test, and immediately moved up from private to a corporal, so that he may become a medic. He then went through General Medic School of the Army, and graduated at the top of his class. He was then deployed into the North Korean battlefield and assigned to the MASH unit number 1176.
This was the very first time Sam had seen a helicopter. The helicopter came down, and had a stretcher on each side of the cockpit. Each stretcher carried a wounded man. They made a med dash to each side of the helicopter, then they removed the gurneys from the chopper, making certain that the IVs remained intact, all while they moved the MASH unit. Inside the MASH unit, doctors and nurses were working frantically to save the lives of each and every soldier. It was chaotic. Doctors, which would normally clean up between patients, would be covered in blood, and move to the next patient, only taking time to wash their hands because they had run out of rubber gloves. Sam then was issued out into Briar Patch, as it was called. There, He would retrieve men that were wounded, and bring up to the helicopter pad, and load them on the next helicopter going to the MASH unit. Sam himself hauled over 150 men by himself to the helipad. The number he worked as a team, well, he had lost count.
Day in and day out, Sam either carried out or drugged out wounded soldiers from the briar patch. Sometimes it was the prairie hills, and he would take them to the helicopter pad behind enemy lines to be flown to the MASH units. In a fierce battle just 16 miles north of the DMZ, Sam single-handedly carried in 23 wounded men from battle. Sam was numb. All he could think of is home, his family, and how he wished he were back there playing with his children. Sam was going in for one last run. This would be man number 24 for the day. It was cloudy, and it was getting dark. He knew he wouldn't be able to make it inside once it got dark. He'll be lucky to make it to the helicopter pad before sunset. He was in the process of pulling out number 24 when a sniper's bullet caught Sam in the lower back. He went down for the count. Now, Sam would be dependent upon other medics to find him. But it was getting too dark. He knew he'd have to spend the night out on the prairie run. The man he was trying to pull to safety passed away. Sam took his gun and what few supplies he had and prepared to settle in for the night. The helicopters would not make a run in this territory, as they knew that the lights on helicopter, or even the sound of the rotors, would be a perfect target for the snipers of the North Korean army. So Sam would have to spend the night. The next day at daybreak, the medics came out and began to search for the inn for Sam, but they never found Sam. For 3 days they searched until they found him. Sam's voice, spoken during his final months in the field to a younger medic. You don't think about the number. You just think about the next man who needs you. One more pair of boots in the mud. One more heartbeat, you can keep going. That's the job. That's the promise. You patch amp, lift amp, and run. That's all there is. Don't look back. Don't count the distance. Just run. Every time that helicopter came in low, I told myself, if I can get him there, he's got a chance. That's all a medic ever wants, to give a man a chance. Sam then slips away, his breathing stops. Medic number 1. Sam Rowe didn't slow down. Not once. He carried more men than any of us. He carried hope on his back. Medic number 2. He saved 150, maybe more. I stopped counting. He never did it for medals. He did it because that's who he was. Medic number 3, quietly. He kept saying he had 2 little ones waiting for him. Said that was his fuel. Said that was why he ran. The officer delivering the news to his unit. Lieutenant Corporal Samuel Rowe served with distinction beyond measure. He saved lives with courage, skill, and devotion. He earned the Silver Star, 3 Purple Hearts, and the Congressional Medal of Honor. But more than that, he earned the respect of every man who ever saw him run toward danger instead of away from it. He didn't fall in fear. He fell in service. And because of him, well over 150 families still have their sons, their brothers, their fathers. And now I leave you with these closing words of Sam's story. They say a man's legacy is measured in what he leaves behind. Sam Rowe left behind 2 children, a loving wife, and a lifetime of work that built a nation. But he also left behind in excess of 150 beating hearts, men who lived because he refused to stop running. He was a builder of peace, and a lifeline in war. And though his footsteps faded in the dust of Korea, the lives he saved carried his story home. If I don't make it back, tell my kids their daddy ran as far as he could. And tell Evelyn, she was the reason I kept running. By the spring of 1951, Corporal Samuel Rowe had become more than a field medic. He had become a lifeline. A medic doesn't think about the number. You think about the next man who needs you. One more heartbeat, you can keep going. That's the promise. During a rescue, one soldier remembered. Sam was breathing hard but steady. Hang on. I've got you. Helicopter's right there. You're gonna make it. Just stay with me. As the helicopter lifts off. Every time the rotors beat the air, Sam believed the same thing. If he could get a man to that helicopter, he had a chance. Corporal Samuel Rowe served with distinction beyond measure. He earned the Silver Star, 3 Purple Hearts, and the Congressional Medal of Honor. But medals are not his legacy. Well over 150 men lived because he refused to stop running. They say a man's legacy is measured in what he leaves behind. Sam Rowe left behind a wife, 2 children, and a lifetime of work that built a nation. But he also left behind more than 150 beating hearts. Men who lived because he carried them to safety. He was a builder in peace, and a lifeline in war. And though his footsteps faded in the dust of Korea, the lives he saved carried his story home. One sergeant said, "I remember when Sam said to me, 'If I don't make it back, tell my kids their daddy ran as far as he could. And tell Evelyn. She was the reason I kept running.'" The war did not end when Sam Rowe fell. But for his family, the world grew quiet. They knock at the door. A government sedan pulls up. Two uniformed officers step out crisp, composed, carrying the weight of their duty. Evelyn opens the door, her mother-in-law behind her, Mr. Jacobs standing just inside the hallway. "Officer, gentle, formal. Mrs. Rowe, on behalf of the United States Army. It is my solemn duty to inform you." Evelyn's breath catches. Mama reaches for her hand. "Officer," continuing softly, "that your husband, Corporal Samuel Rowe, served with extraordinary courage and has given his life in the line of duty." The officer presents the folded flag crisp, perfect, sacred. He holds it out with both hands. "Officer, this flag is presented in gratitude for his faithful service to our country." Evelyn accepts it with trembling hands. Mama places her palm over the flag, whispering a prayer. Mr. Jacobs lowers his head, tears gathering behind his glasses. The legacy he left behind. Sam Rowe had prepared for this moment. Not out of fear, but out of love. Every business he built, every machine he designed, every system he left behind, was made to run without him. His wife would never struggle. His children would never go without. His mother would never worry about tomorrow. And Mr. Jacobs, the man who taught him so much, would watch over it all. In the years that followed, Evelyn raised their children in comfort and pride. Mama lived out her days surrounded by love, telling stories of the boy who built everything he touched. And Mr. Jacobs kept Sam's legacy alive. Not as a monument, but as a living, working testament to the young man who refused to stop running. Corporal Samuel Rowe saved well over 150 men. He built a future for generations he would never meet. And though he never came home, his love did.